W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at WHMsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
I pre-planned my funeral to make it easier on my family. They were relieved to know I'll get just what I want.
My family actually thanked me for taking matters into my own hands. Turns out having this awkward conversation wasn't awkward at all.
Pre-planning is my choice. There are certain things about me my family may not know. Now they won't need to guess.
The choices are yours. The peace of mind is theirs. Pre-plan your funeral with Brown Funeral Homes and everything will be taken care of. Find out more online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
It's time for the excitement of NCAA Division II football, featuring the Shepherd Rams and the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Today's play-by-play coverage is brought to you by Bechtel Jewelers, the Berkeley County Health Department, Brown Funeral Homes and Cremations, CMA Honda of Winchester, Jason Barrett for State Senate, Hagerstown Ford, the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm, and the Heffley Motor Company. Standing by is our TV10 broadcast team. So let's head to the field and get today's pregame show underway.
Just 54 miles separate these two Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference rivals as Team 93 of Shepherd Rams football rumbles into Shippensburg. Head coach Ernie McCook has the Rams clicking on all cylinders at 4-0 for the first time since 2017. On the other side, it's the 2-2 Raiders led by 12th-year head coach Mark Macheski. It's the 52nd all-time meeting, and we'll bring it all to you right here on Talk Radio WRNR, on TV10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. Good evening, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Nick Verzolini. Alongside me is Travis Smith, and we welcome you to Seth Grove Stadium on the campus of Shippensburg University. Travis, it's a rivalry matchup between these two schools. Shepherd coming in ranked number 4 in the major polls, and Shippensburg sitting at 2-2. It was a dominating win for the Rams a season ago, but this is a different Shippensburg team. They're young, they're hungry, and they have a new quarterback leading them in this matchup, the Boston College transfer and Sam Johnson III.
And so far this season, he has been as good as advertised. He's completed over 62% of his passes for 646 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. Had a big game last week versus Bloomsburg where he threw for 3 touchdowns. And again, he has that prototypical size, 6'4", 215 pounds. The redshirt freshman, he was a medical redshirt last year, so he had a chance to kind of learn the system, so he's not going to be as green as a true freshman. So they are really excited here in Shippensburg about their young quarterback.
Rams coming in at 4-0, as we mentioned, for the first time since 2017, led by quarterback Tyson Bajent, who helped Shepherd get a crucial win over Kutztown a week ago to take the early PSAC East lead. And that win hypothetically puts Shepherd in the driver's seat here from here on out, because it's typically Kutztown and Shepherd that are sitting atop those PSAC East standings. But you can't overlook this Shippensburg team. Like we said, a rivalry matchup. Shippensburg actually leads the all-time series 29-22, but the Raiders have not won in this series since 2012. So Shepherd's been the early dominant team since they started playing each other in conference play, but it still is a matchup that could kind of go either way, especially with the conditions on the field. Very similar to that Millersville game a year ago, while Shepherd dominated in the final score. The offense really struggled in that one. And
it's something where you know that the Rams are going to have to use their run game, and it's something that Shepherd, where they usually like to run those RPOs, and when you have a quarterback the caliber of a Tyson Bagent, a lot of times those RPOs just turn into the POs. He takes the passing option, and a lot of times you can't argue with him. But in today's game, you really got to figure that Ronnie Brown is going to be a huge figure in today's game. You look back to last year's matchup versus Shippensburg, and Ronnie Brown had an electrifying game. 8 carries, 145 yards, averaging over 18 yards per carry. Also had a touchdown receiving, 2 catches for 87 yards. So last year he had a ton of success, and today I really think that they're going to have to rely on him just for no other reason than the weather conditions going to make it hard for you to try to throw the ball around the yard.
On the Raiders side, it is a win to start this, a loss to start the season 29-6, then beating Seton Hill 36-17, a loss to IUP at 44-21, but a big win last week over Bloomsburg 31-17. And this defense has gotten after it at times this year, had 4 interceptions in that Seton Hill win. So they're certainly a capable unit, and we'll see what they're able to do. But obviously, like you said, you got to kind of try to take away one of the 2 elements in the rain today. Most likely the pass is more easy to take away, but with Tyson Bagent on the other side, it's going to be difficult.
Yeah, so it's something where always a case where you got to pick your poison, but I think it's something where Shippensburg is going to have to try to stop the run. You want to try to make them throw the ball in this bad weather, but you want to be able to stop the run without having to blitz. You don't want to give a clean read or a quick read to a quarterback like Tyson Bagent, so you're going to have to just really gut check time early on in the game. You're going to have to try to stop the run without trying to blitz people and commit a lot of people to the run, because you know that's going to open up the pass over the top. And as bad as the weather is, you know Shepherd's going to come in looking to throw the ball. So you have to be disciplined in how you try to stop that run game and making Shepherd one-dimensional.
All right, this is the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. W. Harley Miller Systems is providing custom integration services like home and office automation, home theater networking, audio-video distribution, and more. Call 304-350-1931 or visit WHMsystems.com. We'll take a 2-minute break. On the other side of that break, we'll hear from the head coach of the Shepherd University Rams, Ernie McCook. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
If you're in an accident, the first thing that you have to do is call 911. You have to get medical care immediately.
The next thing you need to do is call us. When you hire us at the Skinner Law Firm, what we do is we are going to investigate your case, and we're going to lay out the options that you have, all at no cost to you.
We will use all of our resources and all of our experience to get you what you deserve. That's what we mean by treating you like family.
You've put up with your water long enough. It's time for Sunset Water Services, your local water solution since 1989, to fix your water problems. Get better tasting, better smelling, and better looking water today. Say hello to drinking your own delicious water for pennies per gallon. Say yes to healthier skin and hair and to softer and brighter clothes. Sunset Water Services delivers your bags of salt to you, so they'll save your back too. And our products come with a 1-year satisfaction guarantee. Call 304-754-9031 for a free water quality test today. SunsetWater.com.
Heffley Motor Company, just off I-81 at 993 Hedgesville Road, is a family-owned and operated business providing the Eastern Panhandle with the highest quality pre-owned vehicles and customer service since 1997. Heffley is a pre-owned Carfax Advantage dealer. We're proud to be your partner, serving the community. You're local, we're local, so why not buy local? Call us at 304-267-7172 or see us at 993 Hedgesville Road. And if you want to sell your car, we buy cars too. Check us out at Heffley.com. Heffley Motor Company, a nice place to do business.
We welcome you back on the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. We'll now get into our coach's interview, brought to you by Parsons Ford. They're located at 1400 Shepherdstown Road or online at parsonsford.com. They became #1. Shepherd University Rams, Ernie McCook. Coach, another big win for your program over Kutztown. You guys are 4-0 for the first time since 2017. How does it feel to be in this position?
You know, it's where we want to be, obviously. You know, you want to try to plan it out to win every game, starting with the first one. Thought our kids did a great job on Saturday, gritted it out, found a way to win, stuck together, nobody panicked. and everybody continued to fight through the whole 60 minutes.
And it was really a complete team win. You got scores in all three phases.
Yeah, I mean, we were struggling early on offense, weren't in sync, and that has a lot of credit to do with Kutztown's defense. They're really good on defense, really good football team. Having the pick six by Clayton was awesome, and then having the kick return by Ronnie really kept us in the ball game. We were able to make some adjustments at halftime, come out and execute, and find a way to win.
What were some of those things that you had to adjust at halftime? You mentioned the offense not really being in sync.
Well, I think we settled in and kind of started to get a good feel for Kutztown's defense and the pressure they were bringing. Identified the things that we like in our offense that we felt we could execute. And I thought Coach Tyson did a great job, making those adjustments and kind of rolling with it.
Marlon Cook currently leading the nation in receiving yards for you guys, and a guy that really is taking a big step this year for you.
Yeah, Marlon's done a great job. He's been, Tyson has a lot of belief in him. You can see those guys gelling. We still have a long ways to go offensively and defensively in special teams. We've got to get better. We got to, everything's a work in progress. Trying to get better today, better today, and each and every day from here on out.
And your defense there late in the ball game, kind of a trend for your team over the years has been, even if you give up some points, the defense will make the stop when you need them to, and you're able to do that this week.
Oh, man, it was a lot of excitement. It's kind of fits Kyle Smith making the game-ending sack, and you try and think about all the big sacks that he's made over the years, man. That's pretty awesome.
Shippensburg this week, Coach, you've been around long enough to remember the rivalry.
Yeah.
What does this rivalry mean to you?
Well, this is the one school that we have the most history with in our conference now. So we have the ability to, go out and compete against somebody we're familiar with. They're an hour away, so it's going to be a good deal for us. And I think we're looking forward to playing them. We've played them twice here since we've been in the conference, going on the road, an hour-long trip. It's important to our alumni, their alumni, the community, being so close to one another. So I think it'll be an exciting ball game. I don't think they like us very much. I'm sure the feeling's mutual on our end, and so we're looking forward to competing.
And what kind of stands out to you about this year's Shippensburg team?
Well, they're young, but they're well coached, and you can see them getting better each week. They dropped a tough one, West Virginia State. State scored a couple touchdowns late to kind of make that game look different than it was. But you could see how they competed against IUP, Bloomsburg, and Seton Hill. So we have a team that's getting a lot better each and every week. They're well coached. You can see a rhyme and a reason to what they do. They're going to execute, and they're going to make less and less mistakes. So we're going to have to continue and improve on our side of it.
All right, Coach, thank you, and good luck this week.
Thank you.
That concludes our coach interview, brought to you by Parsons Ford, located at 1400 Shepherdstown Road in Martinsburg, or online at parsonsford.com. They became number one by making you number one first, Parsons. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10.
Your master's degree is as close as Shepherd University. Shepherd's graduate programs are perfect for working adults and will prepare you for the next step in your career. Choose from several degrees perfect for educators, an accredited MBA program, and a master's degree in Appalachian Studies. Visit shepherd.edu/grad studies radio to get started today. Finish your master's or pursue a doctorate in nursing practice. To learn more, visit shepherd.edu/grad studies radio.
Ollie's VIP North Side is the best spot to catch all your favorite teams. Join us Monday for dollar wings and Monday Night Football, Thursdays on the patio for the cornhole tourney, Friday night lights with happy hour specials, or Saturdays during or after the college games for steak night. Get a ribeye or New York steak for just $26.95. Ollie's has great food and drink menus too, along with 17 TVs to watch any game of your choice from anywhere at the bar or their outdoor patio and fire pit. So stop by and see for yourself today at 36 Veronica Drive in Martinsburg. That's Ollie's VIP North Side. We'll see you for the game.
Jambo Construction and Fencing Company, LLC is a veteran-owned and operated company right here in the Eastern Panhandle of West Virginia that specializes in decks, fencing, and hardscaping. Find us on Facebook at Jambo Construction and Fencing to see more of the projects we've completed. For a free estimate, you can call Bo Bartley at 304-268-5452 or Jamie Gall at 304-279-5053. We are licensed and insured in the state of West Virginia, and as Martinsburg alums, we say, Go Bulldogs.
Seth Grove Stadium. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Travis Smith, as we continue to get you set for Shepherd at Shippensburg. And this rivalry matchup, these two teams meeting for the 52nd time here all time. And Travis, we talked a lot about kind of how Shepherd's offense will go up against this Shippensburg defense. But we didn't hit too much on this Shippensburg offense. We talked a little bit about quarterback Sam Johnson III, the Boston College transfer, 6'4", 215 starter for them, redshirt freshman, has shown some good things. But some of the weapons around him, Ian Sheehan, he had a good outing in the game these two teams played last year, made some big catches. In the backfield, it's really a three-headed room there with Khalid Dorsey leading the way. Nassim Moon has stepped up for them as a redshirt sophomore, and they have Bill Williams as well. So it's a pretty interesting offense, and they've had some good moments in this season. Week 1 was rough, only put up 6 points against West Virginia State, but the 36 against Seton Hill, 21 against a pretty good IUP team, and 31 against Bloomsburg. Last 3 weeks, the Shippensburg offense has figured some things out.
And you touched a little bit on that passing game, and it's going to be led by number 1, Ian Sheehan, named 2021 All-PSAC East second team, and last year versus Shepherd managed to pull in 5 catches for 84 yards and a touchdown. He's also coming off of a really big game last week where he had 8 catches for 81 yards and a touchdown. So Sheehan is really the ace in that rotation of wide receivers, and we saw what Jerome Capp was able to do versus that Shepherd secondary last week. So if you had to point to one spot that you can really look to exploit on the Shepherd Rams defense, it is that defensive backfield, and you have a young quarterback, you have a talented wideout. That certainly seems to be a direction that they're going to go. You mentioned Dorsey. First action, he hasn't played that much this year. He's only been in 2 games so far, and coming off of the Bloomsburg game was probably his most productive game so far this year. Had 12 carries for 56 yards. He's averaging 4.7 yards per carry. But like we mentioned last week, sometimes the running game is going to pay dividends that don't necessarily show up in the stat sheet. So it's going to be important for Khalid Dorsey and Nasai Moon to really kind of set the tempo today to avoid putting Shippensburg in those 3rd and long situations, because that's when that Shepherd defense really begins to shine, when they're able to cut loose. Malik Holloway and Kyle Smith coming in off the edge. Both of those guys are elite pass rushers. So what you want to try to do to keep them out of that backfield is try to run at them and make them play honest as far as being able to establish an effective running game. Especially in today's weather, that's something that's going to be paramount for both teams.
And we've seen the Shepherd defense get off to a good start so far. 7 points allowed in the first 2 weeks in each game. Only 23 allowed against Cal PA. Made some big stops toward the end of that ball game. And last week had a pick 6 in Clayton Batten getting the scoring started. And it's a young group. It's a healthy group. And it's a talented group for Shepherd. You mentioned the edge rushers and Kyle Smith and Malik Holloway. Those guys are kind of the veterans on the defense. But we've seen great production from transfer Dwayne Grantham. Sophomore Devin Lynch has stepped into a nice role in the linebacker position. And the progress of the secondary, kind of headed by Clayton Batten there, who had that pick 6. He's got 3 career interceptions, all of them now against Kutztown. But this is a defense that's young, it's talented, and it continues to get better each week.
And you look at that front 7, they had absolutely no problem picking up from where they left off from last year. You lose a middle linebacker like Chris Lane, that's a player, not only are you going to miss his production, you're going to miss his leadership in the locker room, but they seem to have really picked up and found something special in Dwayne Grantham. Last week had 16 tackles, 7 of those solo, 1.5 tackles for loss for Dwayne Grantham. So he's really stepped into that role, and he's also quite a threat in that passing game, because right now he already has, 3 interceptions on the season. Yeah. So he can do it coming up, making tackles in the run game. He's also very dangerous playing in space versus the run. In the in the defensive backfield, you look back there, also some big names that you got to replace. Ponce de Leon and Antonio Fox, those were 2 ball hawk safeties, and it's going to be a bit tougher to replace guys back there, but you have Emilio Pena who's stepping in, and the Rams are hoping that Donnell Howard can get back to his form in 2019. He's been slowed by injuries, but back in 2019, he was an All-PSAC East second-team member, so you know you have talent. You also have some veteran experience with Howard, so hopefully he can get back to form and really help those other young young defensive backs really try to step their game up, because right now that's what most teams are looking to go after, is to take deep shots down the field and try to put the spotlight on those corners.
It'll be interesting to see how these two teams will match up. We got to speak, though, with Rams tight end Brian Walker along with Clayton Batten, and we will hear from them after this 2-minute break. This is Shepherd University Rams football on TV10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. We're back in 2 minutes.
Hi, I'm Annette McDonald, and I am the designer at Orsini's in Martinsburg, West Virginia. We welcome you into our store to show you a complete line of what we do here. We design your cabinetry, quartz countertops, granite countertops, hardware, anything for the full remodel of your kitchen and your home needs. We also do bathrooms, and we have flooring available too. We make sure that your project with Orsini's is the best in the market. Welcome to Orsini's.
Orsini's.com. I'm Jason Barrett. I'm running for state senate because I believe it's time to build an even better West Virginia. That starts with a less burdensome tax policy, reliable internet service, a strong education system, and a robust tourism industry. I believe this building starts right here in Jefferson and Berkeley counties.
I ask for your support and your vote on November 8th.
Paid for by friends of Jason Barrett.
Happiness grows here. Orr's Farm Market.
Visit us at Orr's Farm Market, just 5 miles west of Martinsburg, to pick up all your local fresh fruits and vegetables. With our in-house bakery, fresh fruit slushies, and apple cider donuts, you can't go wrong. Live bluegrass every Saturday from 12 to 5 p.m. And check out all that's local and delicious at Orr's by going to orrsfarmmarket.com or visit our Facebook page.
Happiness grows here. Orr's Farm Market.
Ollie's VIP North Side is the best spot to catch all your favorite teams. Join us Monday for Dollar Wings and Monday Night Football, Thursdays on the patio for the Cornhole Tourney, Friday Night Lights with happy hour specials, or Saturdays during or after the college games for Steak Night. Get a ribeye or New York steak for just $26.95. Ollie's has great food and drink menus too, along with 17 TVs to watch any game of your choice from anywhere at the bar or their outdoor patio and fire pit. So stop by and see for yourself today at 36 Veronica Drive in Martinsburg. That's Ollie's VIP North Side. We'll see you for the game.
We now go in the huddle, brought to you by the Mirius Group and Ameriprise Financial Advisors, John Everson and Phil McCoy. Stop by 1270 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg or call 304-263-4343. We now go in the huddle with Rams cornerback Clayton Batten. Clayton, big game for you in the win against Kutztown. You get a pick six. What's up with Kutztown? You always get pick six against them.
I mean, they just like throwing my way, and then I was at the right time at the right place, so they fell in my hands and I scored.
And for you and the defense throughout that game, you know, that touchdown got you guys on the board, provided a spark. How big do you think that play was in the final outcome?
That was a real big play of the game because defense, you know what I'm saying, we worked the score, and that was literally the first touchdown of the game. That sparked the defense to play harder, and yeah.
And for you in the defense, it seems like you guys are always able to get those stops at the right time, and you're able to get a stop there late in the ball game. What was kind of the mindset of the team heading on into that final drive for Kutztown?
Do we practice? We practice hard, so we practice on things like that. So if we practice on things like that, we practice hard, do it right, and then refer us back to the game.
And then this week you guys got Shippensburg rivalry game. What does this rivalry mean to you?
I really don't know too much about the rivalry because I kind of just got here, but I heard a lot about it, and it means a lot because it's a game anyway. It got played like it's my last, and yeah.
And you mentioned kind of being one of the younger guys on the team and stepped into a big role as the season went on last year. How do you think your growth has gone so far since coming to Shepherd?
It's a big growth because I got now the older guys that were here, they left, so now I got to teach the younger guys, which was me last year, and now I'm an older guy, so I got to teach them what the older guys taught me.
And then last question for you, Shippensburg, what do you see out of their offense? What do you guys need to do defensively to get this win?
Stop explosive plays, stop the run, stop the pass. Just make sure we do what we got to do on defense to get the offense back the ball.
All right, thank you, Clayton, and good luck this week.
Thank you.
We now go in the huddle with Rams tight end Brian Walker, also known as B-Walk. Can I call you B-Walk? Is that all right?
Yeah, that's cool.
Big games for you the past 2 weeks in this offense.
How do you feel you've really stepped up this year as now the number 1 tight end?
I feel like I've stepped up in a big way. We have a lot of great players on this team. A lot of players make big plays, so I'm happy to contribute to making big plays.
And last year is kind of you and Alex Wetzel that saw the field together. Alex obviously graduates, but what were some things you kind of took from him over the years playing with him?
Watching Wetzel, he was very good at doing the little things right and always being in the right area at the right time and all that, so I always made sure to watch that and try to emulate that in my game.
What's it like playing in this offense with obviously Tyson at quarterback and then all the receivers you guys have and Ronnie at running back, just a lot of different playmakers for the other teams to game plan against?
Yeah, just like I said, we have a lot of big players who make big plays, and it's awesome to be a part of. That comes with big players, or a lot of players that make a lot of plays. It takes away from the big plays that you can try to get, so you got to try to get in there and get the plays opportunities that you can make. So it's all good.
And then Kutztown, you guys able to get that win at halftime. You guys only had 58 passing yards. Things weren't really clicking offensively. What were some of those halftime adjustments that you were able to make to come out and put up a big second half?
Just finishing the drives, just not trying to get the 3 and outs, trying to get the first down, trying to get to the end zone. Just start clicking on offense.
Shippensburg this week, rivalry game. It's kind of been brought back as a rivalry. What does this kind of rivalry mean to you, and what are you guys looking to do this week?
We're just looking to make it like the last 4 weeks, come out with a win. And that's it. Just, Coach McCook preaches every week, find a way to win, and that's what we try to do every single week.
What stands out to you about the Shippensburg defense?
Last week, or when they played Seton Hill, they had 4 picks. So that's a lot for one game, so that's one thing that stands out after watching their film.
All right, last question for you, Brian. I know you and Ryan Beach are good friends, and when you made that one move against Kutztown where you broke the guy's ankles with the juke, I called it Ryan Beach lookalike out there, even though you guys are completely different in size and stuff. So who's more shifty, you or Ryan Beach?
Oh, man, I got to give it to Ryan Beach. He's a hard guy to track and a hard guy to tackle, and he does that all the time out there on the field. So I try to, in that situation, I try to look like him as best as possible.
All right, that's Brian Walker, or B-Walk.
That concludes our player interviews portion of the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. When we return, we will have more. This is Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10.
If you're in an accident, the first thing that you have to do is call 911. You have to get medical care immediately.
The next thing you need to do is call us. When you hire us at the Skinner Law Firm, what we do is we are going to investigate your case, and we're going to lay out the options that you have, all at no cost to you.
We will use all of our resources and all of our experience to get you what you deserve. That's what we mean by treating you like family.
My kids, you know I want the best for you, don't you? We need to have a conversation.
End-of-life planning is no one's favorite discussion, but the relief of having everything in place when the hour of need arrives is a gift. Give it to your family. Plan ahead with us.
Brown Funeral Homes, a leading provider of cremations, invites you to explore the many flexible options of cremation. From environmental considerations to the benefit of greatly reduced cost, it may be the perfect answer for your family. Online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
You've been in an accident. The choice of a lawyer may be the biggest decision you make for you and your family's future. At Mansion Ferretti, we offer a free consultation and no fees until we win your case. Call us today and protect your future. Mansion Ferretti, when you need justice.
Back to Seth Grove Stadium. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Travis Smith. Travis, let's get your keys to the game. Brought to you by the Heffley Motor Company. The key to your next car is at Heffley Motor Company, located at 993 Hedgesville Road in Martinsburg. You're local, we're local, so why not buy local? Spencer Dupuis rides at them, so you should too. Travis, let's start with the visitors today, Shepherd, and then give us Shippensburg.
All right, we're looking at Shepherd, and it's going to be same for both teams. This first key, ball security. It's cold, it's rainy. Whoever's going to be able to hold on to the ball consistently today is going to have a big advantage. Also, Shepherd, they're going to have to run the ball. That's not a tough thing for them to do, considering that you have a running back the caliber of Ronnie Brown, but that's going to help you in terms of ball security, and you're not going to have to rely on the quarterback making precision passes in the cold, windy, rainy conditions. Also, on defense for the Rams, no big plays in the passing game. If they can try to make Shippensburg one-dimensional, where they're having to do something that they're not used to doing, that's going to be a big advantage for that Shepherd defense. So no big plays in the passing game. You don't want to make it easy for the young quarterback and allow him to get confidence early on in the game. And again, you want to make Shippensburg one-dimensional. You want to put a lot of pressure on that young quarterback, and that's when that Rams defense really begins to shine, is when the other team has to drop back, throw a lot of passes, and then Malik Holloway and Kyle Smith can really put their stamp on the game. So that's my keys to victory for the Shepherd Rams.
And then for Shippensburg?
Shippensburg, we can start right off again. Ball security. It is going to be crucial today. You cannot have turnovers. You cannot give that Shepherd offense extra possessions on the field between Tyson Bagent, Ronnie Brown, Marlon Cook. Too many weapons, too many guys that can make explosive plays, so you don't want to give them any extra possessions. For Shippensburg, you got to protect your quarterback. You have a young, talented quarterback, and you don't want him having to make decisions under duress. So you have to protect him, try to keep Holloway and Smith at bay. Also, on special teams, Shippensburg, you got to go big. You got to try to do something. Like we mentioned, they haven't scored a lot of points so far today, so they're going to need points from unconventional areas, and there's no better place to do that than on special teams. Like we've mentioned over the past couple of seasons, that has been the one area of inconsistency for the Rams, has been lackluster performances on that special teams unit. So the Raiders are going to have to try to take advantage of that and go big on special teams. And again, they're going to have to attack those Shepherd defensive backs. You're going to have to pick your spots. I don't think you want to try to throw the ball around too much in this weather, but you're going to have to pick your spots, get a matchup with Ian Sheehan that you like, possibly to the wide side of the field, and make those Rams defensive backs have a very long day. So that's going to be important for the Raiders to come away with a victory versus the vaunted Shepherd Rams.
And we talk about it all the time, if you can steal some points, whether it be on special teams or even a defensive touchdown, that would really help, especially for a team like Shippensburg, with Kutztown and some of the better teams in the conference that can kind of, on paper, have the guys that can match up with Shepherd. Maybe not as important, but for some of these schools that are a little bit lower in terms of tier in the conference and where they've been over the past couple of years, stealing those points can always be huge. So the Rams will kick it off first. Shippensburg is back deep to return. Our opening kickoff is brought to you by Orr's Farm Market. Family-owned, family-grown. Happiness grows here at Orr's Farm Market, located at 682 Orr Drive in Martinsburg. Jacob Haney will tee it up. And it's back deep for the Raiders.
And we mentioned Sheehan being a stud in that wide receiver core. Also, Red Douglas.
As returning that opening kick was Ethan Smirimerki, and he'll take it out to about the 26-yard line, and that is where Shippensburg will take over, led by quarterback Johnson III. Shippensburg offense on the field. Sam Johnson III is in the shotgun formation. Running back to his right is Khalid Dorsey. It's a 4-receiver set. And Johnson will play action, dump it down in the flat underneath. And picking up a first down for Shippensburg is Red Douglas.
Red Douglas, the 5'11", 190-pound sophomore, transferred over from the College of Worcester in Ohio. Had a heck of a season for them last year. 38 catches, 756 yards, 5 touchdowns, and he's the first player in school history to have multiple 200-yard receiving games.
This time on 1st and 10, they'll run Dorsey up the gut. He'll find a little bit of room before being brought down. Looks like at the bottom of that pile was Journey Dunbar.
Ball spotted at the 45-yard line. Gain of 4 on the play.
And we noticed in that California PA game how the Shepherd defense was platooning guys in and out on that defensive line, but now they seem to have made the best of both worlds, having the bigger interior defensive lineman with the speedy pass rushers on the outside.
Nearly a fumble on the exchange. Dorsey gets about a yard. It'll be 3rd down and 3. Or 3rd and 5, excuse me, from the 44-yard line or 46-yard line. Grantham in on that tackle.
It's going to be curious to see how that mesh, that's the handoff area between the quarterback and running back, how that's going to work today. You have a team that likes to work primarily out of the shotgun with the running back and sidecar, so that means going to be a lot of zone read fakes, and that's just a lot of hands in a small confined space trying to figure out who's going to get the ball and who's going to keep it.
3rd down and 5. Johnson takes the snap. Throws in the flat complete. In and out of the hands of Dorsey there on the near side. It wouldn't have probably mattered anyway as Pena was crashing down to what would have been a big hit on the far side. And after picking up 1 first down, Shippensburg is forced to punt.
And that's the thing with that Rams defense that really puts pressure on you as far as a quarterback is you want to try to attack downfield, but in order to do that, you need time. And that's the one thing that defensive front does not give you. They do such a good job of coming hard off of the edge, putting pressure on the quarterback. So you really have to try those dinks and dunks. But that's a dangerous pass. You throw that flare route out to the running back. If it's going backwards, that's a fumble.
Luther's punt to Rodney Dorsey is a high kick. It bounces and takes a Shepherd roll out to about the 27-yard line. And Shippensburg is claiming that it's their football, but I didn't see anybody on Shepherd touch it, so I'm not certain.
It was close, It's a little gamesmanship. Sometimes you got to sell it a little bit. You never know.
And they'll move it to the 29 officially, and that's where Shepherd will take over. And the Rams offense on the field. Tyson Bajan in the shotgun formation. Ronnie Brown the back to his right. It's a 3-receiver set. Ryan Beach is in the slot. It's like Edlin and Marlon Cook are the other 2 receivers on the field. Throw complete underneath to Ryan Beach. Beach getting across the 35 before being hit and brought down on that far side.
Tackle was made by the Raiders number 30.
Looks like that was Mike Fiamme in on that tackle.
Spotted at the 37-yard line.
2nd down and short for the Rams. Will be 2nd and 2 officially with 12:48 to go in this first quarter. No score between the two teams. Shepherd on its first drive of the afternoon. Here at Seth Grove Stadium in Shippensburg, Pennsylvania. It's a 2nd and 2 for Shepherd. Bajan in the pistol formation. Ronnie Brown is the back. Bajan adjusts at the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 2. They'll go Brown. Brown has a nice hole up the middle. He's across the 45, has some room here to the near side. Ronnie Brown is into Shippensburg territory and ducks out of bounds at around the 30-yard line of Shippensburg.
And an unusual time for that Rams offense. Not a lot of times you see Ronnie Brown lined up in that pistol formation. A lot of times he's lined up sidecars, a lot of zone read action. But today I just think with the elements that you're going to have to more of a conventional run look. They had a tight end in on that last play. You have Ronnie Brown back there in the pistol, so it's going to be a little bit more downhill, running right in your face for the Rams offense so far today.
Stay in that pistol formation. Michael McCook is in the backfield with Ronnie Brown, and another big hole for Ronnie. He sheds off one tackler at the 20 and heads out of bounds at around the 15. It just seems like Ronnie Brown is cruising up the middle of the field right now against the Shippensburg defense on these last 2 carries.
And again, another wrinkle for that Rams offense. They're doing that zone run up front with Ronnie Brown, but they had that tight cluster formation with the wide receivers, so they had that wide receiver also faking the end around off of it. So it's something where you want to freeze that backside defender without having to block him. You're essentially blocking him with a wide receiver. So that's something new that the Rams are doing so far today.
Here's another fake this time to Ronnie Brown, and Brian Walker is stopped immediately on the reception. Coming up and making the tackle for Shippensburg is Smith.
Shippensburg's number 5, Keon Smith.
Keon Smith, the 5'9", 160-pound sophomore, coming off of a performance last week. He had 3 tackles, 2 of those solo, 1 pass breakup. He had 10 starts under his belt last year, so he's one of those veteran returners in the secondary for the Raiders defense.
2nd and 11 from the 16-yard line. Bagent, play action, throws incomplete on the near side, intended for E.J. Morgan. Smith again in on the pass breakup.
And it's
third down.
And it's kind of tough to run those bubbles this close down to the goal line because there's really no space for the defensive backs to back up. Last week, the Rams, they showed those bubbles early on, but then they made that counter punch in the second half where they started faking the bubble and taking the shots downfield, and that's when Marlon Cook really exploded. So we're seeing how the Raiders are going to make that adjustment here so far today.
Bagent in the gun. 3rd down and 12 from the 16. Bagent takes the snap. Has time.
A lot of time.
Rolls to the left. Throws back toward the right to the back corner of the end zone and incomplete.
Usually you tell a quarterback you never want to throw back across your body, but when you got arm strength and talent like that, that's not a big ask for Tyson Bagent. And one of the few times where he has an errant throw, but Ronnie Brown was open in the back of the end zone. It just sailed a little bit over his head.
Yeah, Brown and Walker kind of in that area, but that one was intended for Ronnie Brown, so it'll be a field goal attempt here of about 33 yards for Jacob Haney. Fry's snap is good. Hutchinson's hold is good. The kick is up. It's a wobbly one, but it is no good. Jacob Haney missing from 33, and that's another miss for him early in a ball game. I mean, he's been big late in the ball game for Shepherd, but they did have 3 kickers in the kicker competition. And I wonder if those guys start to maybe get more opportunities, but obviously Haney has proved himself in practice to be the guy.
Well, if you have 3 kickers, that usually means you don't have 1 kicker.
That's true. It's like the quarterback position. Yeah. But college, maybe not the case. You do tend to carry more guys, more kickers on the roster. James Bozick and Hutchinson are the guys that were in competition in the preseason. But Shippensburg takes over now on their own 16-yard line. It's a run for Dorsey here to the near side. He sheds off one tackler and gets out to about the 29-yard line before he's brought down on the play. It's like Grantham came over to make that tackle along with Haley from the secondary. It'll be 2nd down and 1 with 10:08 to go in this slow-moving first quarter.
2 running back set this time for the Raiders.
Johnson hands it off up the middle. Kyle Smith comes up to make that tackle. Right at the sticks is Moon there for what should be a first down, but yeah, now they moved the chains there right at the 30.
And Nasai Moon has earned his spot on the field. And when I say that, it's something here at Shippensburg where they recognize their scout team players. He was the 2019 Offensive Scout Team Player of the Year.
They'll fake to Moon, now throw to Dorsey in the flat. He runs into his own offensive lineman, and Malik Holloway comes up to make the tackle in the backfield. It'll be a loss of about 3 on the play.
And that's just the amazing thing, and I imagine for opposing offenses, the frustrating thing is that you might be able to catch Shepherd out of position at the very beginning of the play, but they're so quick to react and they're so athletic that they can make up for any mistakes that they make at the beginning of the play. So if you have a chance to get them out of position, you have to take advantage of it immediately, because if not, they're quick enough to get back into position and to make the play.
2nd and 13 from the 27. Johnson hands to Dorsey this time. Holloway gets off his block and helps drive back that pile. Dorsey did actually kind of push forward at the end. Excuse me, that was Moon on that carry, but it'll be 3rd and long for Shippensburg, not a team or not a situation where this team tends to excel. They've been good on 3rd down this year, but they're not really built for 3rd and long. They're more of a run-first football team.
Because when you have to drop back, you have to have a deeper drop back. It's going to take more time, and that's going to give that much more time to Holloway and Smith. And the Rams showing a 3-man front, looking to play coverage as opposed to bringing the heat.
3rd down and about 14 from the 26. Johnson adjusts at the line of scrimmage. And they'll run it with Dorsey. Clete Dorsey has some room, and he is tripped up well shy of the first down marker. Keyshawn Haley came flying in to make that tackle. It'll be 4th down. Shippensburg will be forced to punt.
Shippensburg taking a conservative approach today. They don't want to be the team that makes that first mistake that kind of sets the tone for the game, so they're going to play it very conservative. They did show that cluster look. That's something that they're probably going to come back to. You got Sheehan and Douglas over there tightly packed together. That's going to be tough for the defense to pick that up. But, again, Shippensburg is looking to play ball control and field position so far today.
Luther to punt. Dorsey throws up the fair catch, and now Ronnie Dorsey catches at the run. They can't hit him, right? Or I thought he threw up a fair catch. But I guess since maybe he let it bounce, but he can't return it, so I don't know. Weird situation there.
Either way, they're going to let it slide.
Yeah, apparently. I thought he had singled fair catch, but maybe I just didn't see it correctly. First down and 10 from the 30-yard line, 7:18 to go. Tyson Bagent and the Rams offense back on the field, missing a Jacob Haney field goal on that previous drive. And it's first down and 10 here, 7:18 to go in the opening quarter. Bagent looking deep, throws incomplete, intended for Kenny Edlund. Making the pass breakup is Joey McCracken on the play.
Bagent had a wide-open check down on Ronnie Brown. Ronnie Brown just did a little loop around that left tackle, came right back across the middle of the field. Those linebackers had cleared out. Tyson Bagent would like to go a little bit further down the field, but he had a wide-open target and Ronnie Brown over the middle. So far, he's gotten off to a red-hot start.
Second and 10 for the Rams, 7:13 to go in this opening quarter. They'll run Ronnie Brown, and he is stuffed. Setting the edge for Shippensburg.
Looks like Javon Cruz coming up with the big tackle. The 5'9", 210-pound sophomore had 4 solo tackles last week versus Bloomsburg. 14 tackles on the season, 9 solo. Go ahead and add one more to that total.
So it'll be third and long for the Rams. Third down and 15, but last week it seemed like whenever Shepherd got in this situation, they found the nation's leading receiver, Marlon Cook. We'll see if he can get open here for Shepherd here on a 3rd and 15. Bagent has time, just a 4-man rush, and they're looking Marlon Cook's way. He leaps up, and it's incomplete.
He took a shot.
He is slow to get up now on that far sideline around the 49-yard line is Marlon Cook, who, as I mentioned, is the nation's leading receiver currently. And the Rams will be forced to punt it now. A flag comes in. This is going to be some unsportsmanlike after the play.
So
currently Ryan Barrick would be punting for Shepherd.
Not sure what the referees are going to be discussing. Was it something said after the play, or are they going to penalize the hit? I know
that could be it as well.
It's something that they're trying to eliminate from the game for player safety. And Mike Fahimi came over and lowered the boom on Cook, and Cook still over there being attended to on the sidelines.
Actually, I think he just got up and started moving. I thought I saw him run over. I don't see him anymore on the sideline at least, so if that was Marlon Cook, that's possibly a good sign. But there it is, an unnecessary roughness. So you're on top of it right there, Travis. I mean, it was a very late flag, so it made me think that there was some sort of something said to the official, because nobody on Shippensburg was down there anymore. But maybe it was just that discussion of, hey, what do you guys think that was? And let's just go with it here now because enough people seem to think it was, or whatever the situation.
And it's tough for him because he's doing everything that he's been taught since he's played Little League football. The receiver's going up to make the play on the ball. You have just as much right to the ball. He's bobbling it. He comes over, puts a big hit on him. So I really don't know what you tell that young man, because he has to make a play too. He wants to win too. So it's just a tough situation, and it's unfortunate that Shippensburg gets the penalty and gives a fresh set of downs to that Rams offensive unit.
And hopefully Marlon Cook is all right for Shepherd. I thought I had saw him jog toward the field, which could be a good sign. But 1st and 10 for Shepherd. They'll hand it off to Ronnie Brown. He'll throw some dance moves out there and get to about the 44-yard line. Gain of 4 will be 2nd and 6 for the Rams. Greer coming up and making the tackle for Shippensburg. 2nd down at 6. Coming up on 6 minutes to play in this first quarter.
Ronnie Brown has just been getting the Rams chunks in the run game. So now going back to that pistol look. Now it's a two tight end look for Shepherd. You don't see that often at all.
Edlin going in motion from right to left. They'll hand it off to Ronnie Brown again. Only a gain of about 1 on this carry, though, as Shippensburg comes up to make that play. So it'll be 3rd down and manageable at 3rd down and 5. Ball on the far hash.
And that's going to be a challenge for Shepherd today because, I mean, you have a good running game, but you're really working at the strength of that Shippensburg defense because you have linebackers like Matt Feeney and Tyler Simon, leading tacklers for the team. Those guys are tackling machines, so you're going against the strength of that Raiders defense when you try to run the ball.
Bagent looks to throw on 3rd down and 5. Fires complete. Kenny Edlin has it into Shippensburg territory. Nice to see Kenny Edlin haul one in. He's had some tough drops over the past couple of games, but there he sits in that zone and makes the catch.
And it was a lot of pressure on the defense on that side because you had Ronnie Brown swinging out in the flat, so that corner had a decision to make. Do I widen out to take away the flare pass, or do I sit back and take care of Edlin? And he kind of got caught in no man's land, and Tyson Bagent able to deliver a strike to Edlin for the 1st down.
Marlon Cook is back in the game. He's on the far side with Ryan Beach. Edlin, the receiver, the near side here on 1st and 10. They'll run Ronnie Brown. Brown, though, stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Coming up, making that tackle for Shippensburg is Matt Feeney in on that tackle, who was the defensive player of the week, Travis. 6.5 tackles for a loss in that win against Bloomsburg.
And coming into today's game, the leading tackler for this ball club, 40 tackles, 19 of those solo, 9 tackles for loss, and 3 pass breakups. So not only is he a force in the run game, but he's also comfortable playing in space and doing what he needs to do in the passing game.
2nd down and 11 for the Rams. They'll run Hartman, and Hartman doesn't find much room either. Maybe a gain of 2. Coming up making that play for Shippensburg is Tyler Simon. So it'll be 3rd down and 9 for Shepherd after a 1-yard loss, a 2-yard gain on the play for Hartman.
And we know all about the skill players for the Shepherd Rams offense, but in weather like today, you're really going to have to pay attention to those big guys up front. Chandler Brown, Adam Stilley, Ty Lucas, Joey Fisher, Wyatt Pelicano. It's going to be a lot of emphasis on what those big fellas can do up front today as far as creating space for that run game.
No score 1st quarter, 3:15 to go. 3rd down and 9 for Bagent in the offense. Bagent looking deep near sideline and incomplete over the head of the intended receiver, E.J. Morgan. It'll be 4th down, and Shepherd's in kind of that no man's land territory. See what they elect to do. I think they're going to have confidence in their defense and go for it here.
That type of weather, and again, we always mention it. Tyson Bagent, he's a pretty good punter, so it might be something where they can do a quick kick, and they don't have to worry about trying to defend Red Douglas. Red Douglas is a danger when it comes to special teams, so no reason to try to put the ball in his hands any more time. Oh, looks like a quick kick.
And it is.
Hey!
Bagent will punt it away. It bounces at the 5, goes into the end zone, so the touchback. The net yardage isn't great for Tyson Bagent, but he'll take it.
Hey, you limit an opportunity for a big play. I know you want to try to pin them on the 1-yard line, but really, it's not a bad consolation prize. Like, nobody's looking at going 80 yards as like, whoo, that's a load off my mind. You're sure you're not in the shadow of your own goal line, but you also don't have to worry about somebody slipping and falling and a punt returner taking it to the house. So it's something where you just limit the possibility of a big play on special teams. And in a tight game so far today, you'll take that trade-off.
Yeah, and the way your defense is playing and kind of the feel of the game, feeling like one of those low-scoring battles so far, it could definitely be a helpful play. There's a miscommunication between Johnson and his running back, and Johnson makes the most of it. Scrambles forward, got back to the line of scrimmage. Haley coming up and making that play for Shepherd.
And that one, the running back trying to help school the young quarterback as far as the steps. And in that running game, you got to determine who's going to have midline. Is the quarterback going to have the midline, or is the running back going to have the midline? And that time, Sam Johnson not quite sure what he needed to do in that play, but it looked like something where the running back needed to be on the midline, and the quarterback kind of messed that one up.
He actually lost a yard on the play. So it's 2nd down and 11. Johnson going play action. He'll roll to the right and throw it away. So with 2:15 to go in this first quarter, kind of a weird play. Nobody was on that right side, even though he rolled to the right. But our first quarter presented to you on TV 10 by Smallwood and Small Insurance in Martinsburg, your total insurance solution at 121 Administrative Drive. Call 304-263-3361. And Parsons Ford, located at 1400 Shepherdstown Road and online at parsonsford.com. They became number 1 by making you number 1 first. So 2:13 to go in the first quarter. No score between Shepherd and Shippensburg. The Raiders have it on a 3rd down and 11 from their own 19-yard line. Johnson looking to throw, kind of bobbled the snap, steps up under some pressure, throws complete right at the first down marker. It's caught here on the near side, hauled in by Red Douglas. So that kind of 1-2 punch at wide receiver. We haven't seen Sheehan targeted to this point, but Douglas has a few receptions, and it's a first down for the Raiders. Moved the ball to the 35-yard line of Shippensburg.
Douglas, not only a dangerous wide receiver, also a dangerous kick returner, already has 2 touchdowns on kickoff so far this year.
This time they'll run it up the middle. No yardage there on that carry. Looks like Nathan Muley and Kyle Smith were in there.
And still looking like there's some miscommunication in the backfield between the running back and the quarterback. A lot of times on those zone read runs, the quarterback always has that option to pull it. But it looked like Dorsey made that decision for him and almost clamped his hands off when he took that run up the middle.
Which is interesting to see at this point in the season, but I don't know, maybe the weather has a lot to do with it. Maybe they're having issues, just getting that exchange with the wet football. So 2nd down here at about 9 for Shippensburg. They'll throw it far side, complete. Not much room, but shedding off the tackle and getting back to the line of scrimmage on that reception.
Look at that.
Is Douglas.
Look at just the pursuit from that Rams defense. 10 hats to the ball on the play. And that's just a quick play out to the flat, and that Rams defense was able to swarm Douglas over there on the sideline. That's just impressive speed and athleticism on the defensive side of the ball for the Shepherd Rams.
And effort.
Yes.
And it comes down to that, too, at the end of the day. If you're not having those guys run to the football, that could turn into a big play. He gets off one tackler, and if guys kind of just think it's going to be a tackle, then potentially something that shouldn't have gone very far turns into a big play. But Shepherd's defense gives that effort to get there. 3rd down and 9 from the 36. Johnson throws again, far sideline, close to the sticks. It is caught there on the far side by Xavier Roman, and it's about a yard short, though, of the first down. It'll be 4th and 1, and Clayton Bannon in the coverage for Shepherd. And it looks like Shippensburg at least bringing a heavy unit on, and they're going to try to go for this from the 44-yard line, at least line up to go for it. There's only about 15 seconds to go in this first quarter, so it's very possible they'll speak about it in the quarter break, but we'll have to wait and see. No score between Shepherd and Shippensburg. The 52nd all-time meeting between the two schools. It's a rainy day here in Shippensburg, Pennsylvania. No score. We're back in 60 seconds with more Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at WHMsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
Your master's degree is as close as Shepherd University. Shepherd's graduate programs are perfect for working adults and will prepare you for the next step in your career. Choose from several degrees perfect for educators, an accredited MBA program, and a master's degree in Appalachian Studies. Visit shepherd.edu/grad studies radio to get started today. Finish your master's or pursue a doctorate in nursing practice. To learn more, visit shepherd.edu/grad studies radio.
We welcome you back to Seth Grove Stadium. Nick Verzolini and Travis Smith, happy to have you with us. Shout out to our crew this afternoon. Our on-site producer is Spencer Dupuis. On camera, Donald Kenny along with Dylan Bishop on the sidelines. And Colin McLaughlin back in the studio. You'll hear from Colin at halftime with the Extra Point Scoreboard show. It's 4th and 1 for Shippensburg. And the heavy set is on the field. Sheehan is the lone receiver to the far side for the Raiders as the teams have split. They're going to spread a guy out as well. So
that's
two
Dorsey.
receivers.
So that
Dorsey, the extra running back. Now he comes back in motion to the near side. They'll hand it off to Dorsey. And I think he got the first down.
That's a cool play. You got an assigned move coming up as the kick out. You had your two tight ends, and then you have Dorsey motioning in. It's looking like jet sweep from the approach, but he cuts it up much shorter and takes it inside that kick out blocked by Moon. So that's a cool little short yardage play that time by the Shippensburg Raiders.
Well, you got the play from
the coach of Edinburgh, yeah.
For your JV squad. You might have to get that one from Shippensburg.
Absolutely.
1st and 10 from the 46. Now for the Raiders, they'll turn around, give it to Dorsey again, and stacked up at the line.
Hands it out to number 21, Khalid Dorsey.
Kyle Smith coming in along with Grantham and others to lead that defensive unit. Shippensburg's. It will be interesting to see if the Shepherd offense starts to turn it on like they normally do. Will Shippensburg stay with the run, stay patient? Because early on, that's what the Raiders are doing.
I think they have to. We saw early on how the young quarterback got a little bit rattled. I think they have to stick with the run just to try to keep him calm. And no reason to force it with the game still tied.
Johnson throws, first down, Shippensburg.
There's no doubt in his arm talent. That was Sheehan with the reception.
Sheehan there on the near side coming up with the pitch. And, I mean, that was a play where you see the Division I talent. That was
you see the arm talent
with Dorsey, excuse me, with Johnson.
Yeah, you certainly see the arm talent when he plants that back foot in the ground and lets it go. You certainly see why he was that D1 prospect.
1st down and 10 here from the Rams 38-yard line. Johnson play action. As time, we'll just throw it away. Sheehan, the receiver in the area.
Johnson's pass intended for number 1, Ian Sheehan, is incomplete.
I'm not sure if it was a miscommunication or Johnson just looking to throw it away, but Sheehan coming in on a quick slant. Maybe Johnson was looking for him to maybe make some type of an adjustment. So that's one of the things when you run these option routes, the quarterback and the wide receiver both have to see the same thing and come to the same conclusion, and sometimes there can be a miscommunication and an errant throw.
Bryson Musina was the quarterback a year ago. Musina had another year of eligibility but did not come back to take it as Dorsey gets a big hole up the middle, sheds off one tackler, cuts it to the outside, jukes a man at the 25. The lead Dorsey with some impressive running down to about the 21-yard line. It's a first down for Shippensburg.
And the Raiders, they're not trying to play it to the strength of that defense. They're pounding it straight at them, not allowing those speedy athletes to make plays on the ball. They're running it right at them, running it right up the middle. And Dorsey, not a big running back, 5'11", 170, but he does have a low center of gravity. You saw on that last play, Malik Holloway, they were fighting to get him down on the sideline. Malik Holloway had to do a single-leg takedown to get him down on the turf.
Moon is the back here on 1st and 10. No score between the two teams. Johnson play action, looks to throw. Sheehan comes back to the ball, and the pass falls incomplete. Clayton Batten in coverage for Shepherd.
Also, Grantham got a paw on it. They might have knocked it off of its trajectory. And Grantham, they have him listed as 6'1". He seems like he plays much taller than that. He just must have extremely long arms or something, but it's very hard to get a pass over his head.
I think that is what it is for Dwayne Grantham.
Just long arms.
Because I've stood next to him, and he's just kind of a lengthy dude.
Did you look him in the eye when you stood next to him?
I did. I had to interview him. Eye contact is key when speaking with others, Travis. Johnson will hand it off to Moon. Will run it up the middle to the outside. Not much room off left guard. But they're sticking with it consistently here. Looks like Ofori, Keyshawn Haley coming up along with Devin Lynch in there as well for Shepherd. It's a 3rd and long for Shippensburg after a pretty good drive. 3rd down and 11. Shepherd missed the field goal in that first quarter. It's no score between the two teams with 12 minutes to go here in the second. 12 on the play clock for Shippensburg. Dorsey's the back to the right of Johnson. He'll take the snap, throw it over the middle, complete. Sheehan is there for a first down. Move the ball to the 6-yard line. But we do have a flag on the play. McDowell was in there for the tackle. It's going to be a holding at Shippensburg. Man, that's a costly penalty, but you probably needed it to hold off those edge rushers for Shepherd.
Holding. Number 71 in the offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Remains 3rd.
But you're definitely seeing the talent of Johnson. Stepped into that throw, made a tight window.
And he can spin it. He can certainly spin it. And that holding penalty was on the left tackle, Austin Garner, the 6'4", 270-pound redshirt junior.
It'll be interesting to see what Shippensburg elects to do here on a 3rd and 21. You could play for either 4 downs / field goal or potentially go for the first down here. We'll see how they play it. Johnson looks to throw, dumps it down underneath, screen pass to Douglas. Douglas has some room to the outside, gets a good block. And Red Douglas gets back to right at the original line of scrimmage. That'll bring the field goal unit on. So I think a pretty good play there. And if he got one more block, Douglas might have picked up that first down. But you also see the speed of the Shepherd defense flying to the football.
Yeah, and like you said, that's desire and effort when you have the athleticism to do it. Because, again, you can catch them out of position early on in the play, but they are just smart, tough, aggressive, and they fly to the ball. So any advantage that you have, it'll be brief.
Jackson Montross will attempt this field goal. As I mentioned, Shepherd missed a field goal in that first quarter. This one is from 38. Kick is up. And it's no good. So we've seen 2 attempts on the same side of the field go no good here from these kickers. And they're both under 40-yard field goals. The 33-yarder from Jacob Haney was no good, and the 38-yarder there from Montross no good. And the Shepherd offense is back on the field. We'll see if they can get some things going.
And as the game goes on and it remains scoreless, you may start to see both teams start to tighten up and tighten up and tighten up and start playing a little bit more conservative, because you don't want to be the first team to make that mistake that's going to kind of set the tone for the rest of the game.
Well, they'll run Ronnie Brown here. Ronnie bounces it to the outside and now steps out of bounds. Might have lost a yard on the play.
On the stop for Shippensburg, number 42, Tyler Simon, and number 46, Matt.
And Ronnie Brown just looking to get back on track. Had that monster game against Edinboro, but after that, it kind of seemed like he blew the pilot light out a little bit. He's had a hard time trying to get it fired back up, but so far he's gotten off to a good start, and that was one of the few tackles not for a game for Ronnie Brown, but you figured that he's going to play a very large part in today's outcome.
Second down. New gain on the play, 2nd down and 10 for Shepherd. Bagent with time to throw, throws underneath and incomplete.
Almost an interception that time.
Intended for Kenny Edlin there on the play.
Looked like Matt Feeney was in on the coverage. He's coming off of a big game last week. Had 10 tackles, 8 of those solo, 6.5 tackles for loss. And that time showing that he can also drop back, make something happen in the passing game. He also has, that will make his 4th pass breakup of the season. So complete linebackers on display here for both ball clubs.
3rd and 10 for the Rams from their own 20-yard line. And that will be an offsides against Shippensburg, I believe. Didn't see anybody move for Shepherd.
The sideline official on the far side of the field was motioning that it is encroachment.
So that'll be Riley Good picking up that penalty. Good had some good plays a year ago between these two teams. Talked about it earlier in the week. Shepherd struggled in the rain a year ago against Millersville. And so far in this kind of rainy, wet day at Shippensburg, it's been similar stuff. I mean, not the turnovers like they had in that game, but no score for the Rams with 10 minutes to go in this first half. There's a throw complete. First down, Shepherd. It's Marlon Cook with his first of the day.
It's good to see that young man back out there on the field. I'm sure the Shepherd coaching staff are equally happy to see him out there making plays, and Cook has certainly lived up to his surname this year. Coming into today's game, 30 catches, 643 yards, and 4 touchdowns, going over 100 yards in each of the games so far this season for the Rams.
Went over 200 a week ago, 212 to be exact. There he is again on the far side. So if those two get going, that could be dangerous for Shippensburg.
Keon Smith, and on the stop, looked like he's going to be the defensive back that drew the short straw where you have to try to guard Marlon Cook. But a key to any defensive back, you got to have a short memory. He's going to make some plays, but you got to shake that off and come back and be ready to make the most of the next opportunity you have to make a play on the ball.
He's one of the better DBs on this roster for Shippensburg, so it makes sense. Ronnie Brown sheds off a tackler, got room here to the outside, heads into Shippensburg territory. It'll be a first down for Shepherd. Heads out of bounds at around the 48. Forcing him out on the play was Ibrahim Cham.
And a little bit of a limp for Ronnie Brown. Not too often you see him willingly going out of bounds. We mentioned it. Sometimes it can boil over and be a negative, but he is a live wire. He's a guy that he's a high-energy, dynamic player. So if you see him looking to go out of bounds, something may not be 100% with Ronnie Brown. Plus, it also is pretty cold out there.
Or he just ran out of room. Yeah. First and then they'll go Ronnie again. Oh, Ronnie cutting at the 40, has another first down for Shepherd.
That was a vicious back block by Michael McCook, the fullback / tight end coming back. A lot of those zone runs, and you'll have that H-back working across and picking up that backside defender. And McCook absolutely planted the defender to open up that hole for Ronnie Brown.
And Ronnie Brown can make you look silly in open space. Yeah. First down and 10 for Shepherd to the 36. Agent calling out plays at the line of scrimmage. Edlin and Beach, the receivers to the near side. Cook, the receiver to the far side. Brown lined up behind Bajent. They'll fake it to Brown and roll to the left, dump it down underneath, complete into the 30 or inside the 30-yard line. It's Brian Walker, the tight end.
And not an easy throw using Tyson Bajent on the bootleg. He's rolling out to his left-hand side, but he's able to get his hips around and throw an accurate pass to Walker. And that's what you do. That's one of the benefits of establishing that run and getting chunks in the run game. That's when you can start working your play-action pass, and it makes it that much easier for your quarterback in Tyson Bajent.
8-yard pickup makes it second down and 2 for the Rams from the Shippensburg 28. They'll run Ronnie Brown up the middle. He has the first down. Down to about the 25-yard line. Gain of 3 on the play. And finally, we're starting to see some real movement of the football from the Shepherd offense. And I think, Travis, the balance in this game might be the most balance we've seen all season from Shepherd. I mean, you don't really know what's coming.
Yeah, because it's been feast or famine so far this year. Either the passing game is on and the running game's off, or the running game's on and the passing game's off. So this might be a very important game as far as this team's development moving forward, where they're having to rely on both the running game and the pass game, and they're using it to complement each other.
7 minutes to go in this second quarter. Shepherd really killing clock. Hartman's the back. They'll fake it to him. Bajent looking for Ryan Beach in the end zone. Incomplete. That ball just died out there for Ryan Beach, but he put a great move there in the secondary to get open.
And that time, Jalen Wade was the defensive back that got shook up trying to guard Beach in space. That's tough to try to guard, and Beach put on a move. And it was just something where just like it wasn't sure footing, and it was tough for Ryan Beach to try to recover and fade out to try to catch that ball a little bit more closer, little closer to the sideline than what he would have liked that pass.
Second and 10 from the 25. Bajent with Hartman in the backfield. This time he'll get the carry. And Blake Hartman Gets down to about the 20-yard line. Coming up with the tackle there, leading the charge for Shippensburg. Tyler Simon in there for the Raiders. It'll be 3rd down and about 5 from the 20.
And Blake Hartman, Avon Holly has done a serviceable job. We saw a lot last year when the game was out of hand. He would come in and give you good runs. We've seen Holly a little bit so far this year. But Hartman just gives you that extra gear that Holly doesn't have.
6:20 to go in this first half. Agent rolling to the right. Pumps. He'll take it himself. Has the first down inside the 10-yard line. A flag comes in, though, late. That could be a block in the back, which would negate the first down for Shepherd. Greer coming over to force him out, but that's another one of those good runs for Tyson Beige, and unfortunately it's going to come back. In these big situations, he's been able to do it the past couple of weeks. He had that run on 4th down. He had a touchdown run a week ago.
That was an 18-yard run on a 4th down, and they needed every bit of it. Ronnie Brown had the big block on that one.
They're going to call it a holding, not a block in the back, so that will really back the Rams up, probably out of field goal range.
And if you're Coach McCook, you'll take that. If you got your Harlan Hill Award winner out there running around, do whatever you got to do to make sure that man gets back into the huddle safely. So that's something you'll take that bad with all the good that he's going to give you.
3rd and 13, 6 minutes to play in the first half. No score between Shepherd and Shippensburg. Bagent will dump it down on the screen pass. Underneath complete. It's Ronnie Brown. Brown inside the 20. Close to the first down marker, but a little bit short. Riley Good able to track him down. It's 4th down and about 1 for Shepherd.
You're seeing a lot of safe, high percentage throws for the Rams offense so far. A lot of hitches, a lot of snags. That time it was a swing pass, but they kind of do it with an element of a screen pass because you have a lineman that's out there releasing with it, but it's more of like a swing pass than an actual screen because they're not allowing the entire defensive line to rush into the backfield.
4th and about 2. Rams offense staying on the field. After Haney missed a field goal earlier, they're running Ronnie Brown. Brown has the first down and more, down to about the 11-yard line. A little bit of stack up here between the teams.
I'll tell you what, Michael McCook has been out there popping people today. They bring him in. He's an excellent kick-out block. We also know that he has very good hands coming out of the backfield. We're getting close to Michael McCook territory down here close to the goal line.
Definitely Michael McCook territory where he turns into Chris Carter and scores touchdowns.
We have our researchers working diligently to get his player efficiency rating as to how often he's on the field.
Has to be like 97%.
It has to be.
Under 5 minutes to go in this first half. Shepherd holding the football for a good portion of this second quarter. Ronnie Brown is the back to the left of Bagent. They'll go Ronnie. He's got a big hole. Scoots off one defender. Flag comes in. He's tackled around the 5-yard line. This play will come back, though. It appears to be a holding in the backfield against Shepherd. Making the tackle for Shippensburg was Brandon Holt, the defensive back in the secondary.
But also, unfortunately for the Rams, it looked like Chandler Brown, the left tackle, also made a tackle in the play. 75.
They're going to get.
I'll apologize to Mr. Brown. That was Ty Lucas. That was the guilty party.
Opposite side, Travis. Opposite side of the line. You're trying to throw it on Chandler Brown. He's the left tackle. It's a right guard getting in the penalty.
I just saw him laying on top of a guy.
It was a pancake. First down, or second down, excuse me, and long. 2nd and 20. Or no, first. It should still be first down. Scoreboard has it wrong as Bagent looking to throw. Dumps it down underneath to Ryan Beach. He'll make one man miss. Lost the football. Shippensburg dives on top of it around the 4-yard line. It's a tough pile there. We'll see if it goes to Shepherd or Shippensburg. This would be a huge stop for the Raiders if it is their football. Shepherd, though, I think got it back. What a missed opportunity for Shippensburg and a potentially costly turnover for the Rams. It looked like a Raider was trying to chase it down as it came out and was really the only guy close to it, but it just bounced in favor of Shepherd. So luckily for the Rams, they still have the football. Second down at about 4. Shepherd can get a first down without getting into the end zone here. They can get it inside that 1 yard line. 4 minutes to go in the first half. Bajent in the pistol formation. Ronnie Brown's the back in the backfield, and a timeout will be taken by the Raiders. So no score between Shepherd and Shippensburg. Let's take a 30-second break. This is Shepherd University Rams football on TV10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. We're back in 30 with 3:58 to go in this second quarter. We welcome you back to Seth Grove Stadium. No score between Shepherd and Shippensburg. 3:58 to go in this second quarter. I'm Nick Verzolini. Alongside me is Travis Smith, our crew this afternoon. Donald Kinney on camera. Spencer Dupuis, our on-site producer. Dylan Bishop down on the sideline running a camera, and he'll have the coach of the Shepherd University Rams, Ernie McCook, at halftime, as long as Coach McCook doesn't run away from Dylan, as he sometimes tends to do, Travis. But I think it's because Dylan and him just have a working relationship where we'll see if Dylan can get him. He will be able to. We appreciate Coach McCook. Second down here for the Rams. They'll run it with Ronnie Brown, and he is stacked up going backwards. Shippensburg just forming a red wall.
Matt Feeney that time in on the tackle. There was a host of Raiders defenders knocking him back, and sometimes that's one of the drawbacks with Ronnie Brown, is that he's so determined to try to make a big play. Sometimes he'll bounce it outside when he shouldn't have, and that time was a big loss. I mean, you get what you can get, but what you don't want to do is try to dig yourself a bigger hole just trying to make a play. And it's coming from a good place. He's a competitor, and he wants to make a play for his team, but sometimes you got to pick the lesser of two evils and take the 1 yard loss as opposed to the 5 yard loss.
This is 3rd and 7 from the 8 yard line. Bajent in the shotgun formation. Marlon Cook, the receiver, to the far side. 3 receivers stacked to the other side, and they'll give it to Ronnie Brown down to the 5. Get it back toward the middle of the field here on 4th down. But we've seen these missed field goals, and that always is probably in the back of Coach McCook's mind if he wants to send that unit on. But they will do it here. I mean, this is a chip shot.
I'm saying this is essentially an extra point. And he should have plenty of practice for those.
That's true, especially in this offense. But we've seen extra points blocked this year for Shepherd. So there's also that concern with 2:33 to go and counting in this first half. Jacob Haney on to attempt this short field goal for Shepherd. Snap is good. Kick is up, and it's no good. Haney misses from about 23 yards.
It looks like there was a good snap. It was a good hold. The kicker not able to hold up his end of the bargain. There was a good rush up front by that Raiders defensive front trying to get after the ball, but we got ourselves a ball game, and this is smash mouth football at its finest, because those skill plays are not going to come easy today. It's going to be who's going to be able to grind it out, and right now it's shaping up to be a battle of attrition.
And you think about the penalties, too. I mean, you had several plays get called back due to penalties for Shepherd, and that definitely playing a factor in the Rams not getting the points on that drive, because that was a long drive, and just to get nothing out of it has to be disheartening for the Rams. Shippensburg now takes back over, and they'll run it. No room there up the middle Oh, all of a sudden, Khalid Dorsey gets away. Dorsey's into the secondary. Rams trying to track him down, but he'll take it all the way into the end zone. Touchdown, Shippensburg.
10-point swing in favor of the Raiders. The Rams going out missing that field goal, and the very next play runs it right up the middle. We talked about it. They weren't trying to dance around the edge in those first couple possessions that they had, and they're trying to establish the run game up the middle. We talked about Dorsey's size. That's one of the benefits because he's able to camouflage himself behind that big offensive line. You're not sure who you're grabbing in that big scrum in the middle of the field, and Dorsey able to make the most of it, breaks out of the pack, able to turn on the Jets and get that first score on the board for the Shippensburg Raiders.
It looked like it was stacked up, and then Khalid Dorsey just broke out of a pack and ran for 80 yards for a touchdown. The extra point is up.
Good hold.
It is good.
That was a good hold. You had to dig that one out of the turf.
And we finally have a made kick in this ball game. 7-0. Shippensburg on top, 2:05 to go in this first half. This is Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
Before the invitations and the dress, the flowers, cake, candles, or vows, there was an answer to a question proposed with a ring.
Bechtel Jewelers knows that an important part of your wedding happens before the I-dos. We're a diamond store with an engagement and bridal jewelry selection that's both exciting and accessible.
On the big day, there's everything else, and there's the ring. Make sure you get this one right at Bechtel Jewelers in Inwood.
If you're in an accident, the first thing that you have to do is call 911. You have to get medical care immediately.
The next thing you need to do is call us. When you hire us at the Skinner Law Firm, what we do is we are going to investigate your case and we're going to lay out the options that you have, all at no cost to you.
We will use all of our resources and all of our experience to get you what you deserve. That's what we mean by treating you like family.
Back to Seth Grove Stadium after an 80-yard touchdown run by Khalid Dorsey puts Shippensburg up 7-0. Shepherd to return this kickoff, and it will go into the end zone for the touchback. What a run that was. It looked like Dorsey was stacked up in a pile. He was going to go down, and then he just shot out. And it was an 80-yard touchdown run all of a sudden.
And if you're going to get big runs versus this Rams defense, that's how it's going to happen. You're not going to beat them with speed to the edge. But if you run right at them and you are consistent with that run game and you continually pound those guys up front, I think that's going to be your best bet as far as having an effective run game that can get you points versus Shepherd defense because they're so fast on the perimeter. It's really not doing yourself any favors but trying to get outside. You keep pounding it at them, and that's what the Raiders were able to capitalize on that last score.
So it's a one-play, 80-yard drive on the Dorsey touchdown run. Your scoring drive summaries are brought to you by Jason Barrett for State Senate. Vote to cut the car tax. Vote Jason Barrett for State Senate. And a penalty against the Rams again. It will be a false start. So that backs you up. Marlon Cook picking up that one for Shepherd. Just about 2 minutes to go before halftime. The Rams will get it to start the second half. So while down 7-0 here on the ropes on the road, Shepherd has a chance for back-to-back drives and could just as easily be pretty soon in the lead. But definitely a surprising start. Bajan throws, and that was nearly a pick six.
Keon Smith made a tremendous break on that ball. Has an interception on the season, and that'll go ahead and bring up his total to 3 pass breakups on the year. Had a good game versus Shepherd the last time they faced off. Had 6 tackles, 5 of those solo, 1 tackle for loss, and 1 pass breakup. So he is a very active defensive back out there on the edge.
It's a 2nd down and 15 for the Rams after the penalty and the incompletion. Bajan has some time, rolling to the right, looking to throw, now tucks it under and runs and steps out of bounds after a short carry to about the 27-yard line. Under 2 minutes to go in this first half. It's 7-0 Shippensburg. It will be a 3rd down. like Good was able to chase him out of bounds. Third down and about 8.
Garrett David checks in on the D-line for that Raiders defense.
Bajan in the shotgun, looking to throw on 3rd and 8. Under some pressure. Looking to run again. Tucks it under, lowers his shoulder, and I think he's going to be short, but it was right there. Oh, no, they're going to give him the first down. Wow.
Wow. Okay.
Bajan was met initially there at that 34.5, but I guess that extra effort got him the first down.
Well,
so
as he was going down, he was able to roll over the defender, so he didn't go down. He wasn't down by contact at that point, and just that extra effort was enough to get him to move the chains.
So it's a first down and 10 for the Rams now from the 35. A big first down picked up by the Harlan Hill Trophy winner. Here's a pass complete on the near side by Marlon Cook right at the sticks for the Rams.
And he was tackled that time by Ibrahim Cham.
We've seen Cham make a few nice plays early in this ball game.
The 5'10", 155-pound redshirt sophomore.
It's another first down for Shepherd. Gain of 10 on the play to the 45.
Had a big kick return in his last matchup versus Shepherd.
1:08 to go in the first half. Here's a pass deflected off the hands of Ryan Beach, and those are always trouble and scary if you're a Shepherd fan. You have a ball get deflected over the middle. It's usually intercepted, but luckily for Shepherd it falls to the ground. It'll be second down.
And as the Rams have gotten away from the run game, you've noticed a big change on that Raiders defense. Now they're electing to play coverage. They're not trying to send heat after the quarterback. Tyson Bajan can read your mail. If you're coming up showing that you got blitz, he has some contingencies and checkdowns that he can get. So right now they're just rushing 3 or 4 guys. Everybody else is dropping back into coverage, and they're trying to play that style of game to see if they can slow down that Rams passing attack.
This time they get pressure on Bajan. He'll step into this throw and complete it for a first down into Shippensburg territory. It's caught by E.J. Morgan for the first time today. 52.5 seconds to go, and Shepherd is going to burn a timeout. And you mentioned that only really Feeney and Simon are the only 2 linebackers on the field. The rest are DBs and D linemen.
So a lot of nickel packages, a lot of dime packages, and they've had success. And the reason that they're able to do that is because the Rams are going away from the run. When they were running the ball, they would have to bring that extra defender into the box to account for it.
So 7-0 Shippensburg, 52.5 seconds to go. We apologize for some technical difficulties with our camera. But
we are in an open press box, rainy and windy. Water's getting into places that it shouldn't, so maybe having some issues.
But we do have at least one gamer, but we do, again, apologize. It's kind of a tough situation here on the road, but we're doing, and we appreciate Shippensburg for just providing us a spot and doing their best as well.
They were hustling for us today.
Yeah.
They did everything they could to help us get set up and get going.
There's a power issue up here as well earlier, so we appreciate that help from them, and we're just trying to do our best for you here. 7-0, 52.5 seconds to go in the first half. Bajan in the shotgun formation. It's Ryan Beach and Marlon Cook, the receivers, to the near side. Looks like E.J. Morgan there on that far side. First down and 10 for Shepherd. 7-0 Shippensburg on top. Bajan pumps once. He is brought down and sacked. Fumble came out as well. And I think Shippensburg probably got on top of that if there was a fumble. And
sack on the play was by the Raiders, number 92, Jake Hines.
looks like they're either not ruling a fumble or Shepherd was able to recover.
Shepherd, their second.
And timeout Shepherd.
Ball was recovered by Shepherd's number 60.
Okay, so it was recovered by Chandler Brown, who had given up the sack there.
Ball now spotted at the 42-yard line.
7-0 Shippensburg, 45 seconds to go in this second quarter.
And we've seen Tyson Bajan take a lot more hits this season than we did in last year's campaign. And you look at some of the younger offensive linemen that they have up there. But I'm like, it's really nothing where they're not doing their job. It's just teams have had to build up their defenses in such a way to even try to compete with Shepherd. You're starting to see that those defensive coordinators, they get paid money too. Those are talented guys on that side of the ball too, so they're doing whatever they can to try to get their players in a position to be successful. And you're starting to see just a variety of looks. You're seeing twists, you're seeing stunts up front, and you're seeing a variety of blitzes coming in off the edge. So there's a lot coming at that young offensive line for the Rams, and they've had their trouble so far this year, but that's the growing pains that you have when you have a big changing of the guard up front like that with the Shepherd Rams offensive line.
2nd and 16 for Shepherd. Bagent with time this time and throws into a tight window, complete to Ryan Beach, sliding down close to the sticks. Not him making the play, it was Cruz.
That was tough. But we talked about the arm talent of Johnson. You saw the arm talent on display that time by Bagent. He squeezed that one into the tightest of windows.
And Johnson maybe D1 arm talent as Bagent lost the ball again. They're saying it was a pass, fell incomplete. I think that has to be grounding there, as it wasn't really intended to.
If it's not grounding, then it's a fumble.
Right. It was a weird-looking throw by Bagent. What I was going to say was that Johnson has that D1 arm talent. Tyson Bagent has NFL arm talent. Okay, apparently Ronnie Brown was in the area.
That's a generous
Your
call.
definition of what's in the area and my definition of what's in the area are two different things.
I don't know what type of GPS he's working with.
.26.5 seconds to go in this first half. Bagent looking to throw. Again has time, looking toward the end zone for Walker. It's caught. Touchdown, Shepherd. It's Brian Walker with his first touchdown reception of the year. And the Rams get on the board with 19 seconds to go in the first half. Bagent with the floater to the end zone. 7-6 our score.
Brandon Holt was in coverage that play, and he just lost track of Walker on the back line of the end zone. You had two defensive backs back there, and neither one of them saw Walker. He's a hard guy to miss. He's 6'5", 240 pounds, and he's been having a whale of a season so far for the Rams.
Extra point from Haney is good. So it is Shippensburg 7, Shepherd 7, 19 seconds to go in this first half. Let's go ahead and take our 60-second break. This is Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How do I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm Philip McCoy, financial advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
Hi, I'm Annette McDonald, and I am the designer at Orsini's in Martinsburg, West Virginia. We welcome you into our store to show you a complete line of what we do here. We design your cabinetry, quartz countertops, granite countertops, hardware, anything for the full remodel of your kitchen and your home needs. We also do bathrooms, and we have flooring available too. We make sure that your project with Orsini's is the best in the market. Welcome to Orsini's.
Orsini's.com.
We welcome you back to Shippensburg. It's a kick on the ground. Flag comes flying in from the far side. 7-7 our score, 14 seconds to go in this first half of play between Shepherd and Shippensburg. Nick Verzolini alongside me is Travis Smith. Travis, our second quarter is brought to you by Smallwood & Small Insurance and Martinsburg, your total insurance solution at 121 Administrative Drive. Call 304-263-3361. And the Skinner Law Firm, injury and consumer rights lawyers. Call 304-245-6613. 7-7 our score. Just for Shepherd, I mean, they get the ball to start the second half, the Rams do, and we're able to close out that second quarter with two good drives. Unfortunately for Shepherd, they had another missed field goal. We'll get these penalties here in a little bit more.
Number 30, the receiving team. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 24.
All right, so offsetting penalties here as both teams get called for the unsportsmanlike. Man, as I was saying, the Shepherds had some good drives. The Rams could be up, 10-7 or could be up 13-7. But instead it's just a 7-7 ball game. But Shepherd definitely has things to build on heading into that second half.
And Shepherd has dodged a couple big bullets in the first half. One was the Ryan Beach fumble, and then it was an intentional grounding.
Yeah,
it's either one. Either it's intentional grounding or it's a fumble. So Shepherd they've got the favorable bounces and calls so far today.
For sure, Shippensburg is content to go into halftime, tied at 7, with one of the best teams not only in the conference but in the country. And we will not have the head coach, Ernie McCook, here at the half. We'll get him to start, or we'll get him in the second half at the conclusion of the game potentially, but we won't have Coach McCook here due to these technical issues that we're having. So we apologize for that, but we will take a 2-minute break. When we return, we'll have the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm halftime show. This is Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
If you're in an accident, the first thing that you have to do is call 911. You have to get medical care immediately.
The next thing you need to do is call us. When you hire us at the Skinner Law Firm, what we do is we are going to investigate your case and we're going to lay out the options that you have, all at no cost to you.
We will use all of our resources and all of our experience to get you what you deserve. That's what we mean by treating you like family.
Hi, I'm Annette McDonald, and I am the designer at Orsini's in Martinsburg, West Virginia. We welcome you into our store to show you a complete line of what we do here. We design your cabinetry, quartz countertops, granite countertops, hardware, anything for the full remodel of your kitchen and your home needs. We also do bathrooms, and we have flooring available too. We make sure that your project with Orsini's is the best in the market. Welcome to Orsini's.
Orsini's.com.
With Honda, every summer adventure is the destination. Take your adventures even farther with Honda, America's most fuel-efficient full-line automaker. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 2.9% APR on a 2022 Honda Civic and a 3.9% APR on a 2022 Accord or 2023 HRV.
CMA's Honda of Winchester, 3985 Valley Pike. CMA, moving lives forward.
See dealer for financing details. Exclude Civic Si based on EPA estimate of MY20 full-line automaker fleet-wide fuel economy 2021 EPA Automotive Trends Report.
We're at the half. Time for a scoring recap, stats and analysis, scores from around the PSAC and Super Region 1, the Division 1 Top 25, and the latest on the West Virginia University Mountaineers and Marshall University Thundering Herd. Let's get it started as we go back to the field and rejoin our TV 10 broadcast team.
We welcome you back to Shippensburg here at Seth Grove Stadium. Nick Verzolini alongside me is Travis Smith. Here at the half, it's Shepherd 7, Shippensburg 7 on the Mansion Ferretti halftime show. Brought to you by the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm. In Martinsburg, where it's about seeking justice for you. Go to WV Justice. Travis, a good first half between these two teams. Shippensburg really controlling the game, I think, in a lot of ways. And if you're the Raiders, you got to be really happy with that first half and how your team executed the game plan, I think, on both sides of the ball. And we're able to break through there for that 80-yard touchdown run. And this is an entertaining game.
And that's one of the things that you're hoping for when you're running the ball is, even though it might be tough sledding early on in the game, you know it's kind of like a boxer going to a body early in the fight. You know if you keep doing it, eventually something big is going to break, and that's what the Raiders were able to do. And they were able to do it in the first half. And also by running the ball, you're able to keep your young quarterback in a safe situation. That was early on in the game. You saw Sam Johnson III looked a little bit rattled, some miscues in the backfield. He was running around, not quite sure what to do with the ball. So you settle your young quarterback back down. You get a good, effective running game going. Most importantly, with that running game that's going to help you, you're going to keep Tyson Bagent off the field. And in a cold game like that, and a team that relies on precision and timing, that's going to be huge because they're going to come out and they're not going to be in as good a rhythm as they normally would. You look at that Shepherd team, playing tough, offense, having a tough time getting it going, but what is good for Shepherd is that you see them having to rely on the running game. It's been effective. Not only that, the play-action passing game has been effective, so you're not putting so much pressure on the quarterback. And you saw the Red Raiders, they really had a good plan because once the Rams went away from running the ball, you saw the Raiders elected to play coverage. We're going to drop 7, 8 guys back into coverage and really create some tight windows for Tyson Bagent to try to throw through. And like we mentioned early on, Shepherd has dodged some pretty big bullets here so far in today's game. We knew that when you have weather like this, it's rainy, it's windy, it's cold, the ball's going to bounce funny. It's just going to start getting heavy and waterlogged after a while. So Shippensburg, they're playing the game that you want. You want to keep it close and maybe make a big play late in the game. You're at home. That's a safe, smart strategy to play for Shippensburg. Right now for the Rams, you're starting to see them open up the playbook a little bit more. The rain is more died down a little bit. It's more rainy, a little bit more windy and cold right now. So you're starting to see the Rams open up their playbook a little bit more, and that offense is starting to get on track. So the Rams go into the locker room feeling pretty good about what they were able to accomplish at the end of the half, and the Raiders are happy that they're still in the game at the half.
Yeah, I mean, that wasn't necessarily the expectation heading into this ball game. And you mentioned Johnson, too, and what he's done in this first half, and I think you got to give a lot of credit to Shippensburg in the way they've designed the plays to not make it difficult on Johnson to throw the ball, too. I mean, he's 6 of 10 for 47 yards. It's not going to blow you away, but it's not efficient.
It's not going to get you in trouble either.
And Dorsey, 8 carries, 115 yards, obviously 80 of them, though, coming on one long touchdown run for Shippensburg. The receivers doing a good job. Red Douglas, 3 catches, 28 yards. And Ian Shaheen, 1 catch for 15 yards. Xavier Roman, 1 catch for 7 yards in that first half. On the Shepherd side of things, Tyson Bagent was 13 of 22 for 134 yards and a score. Ronnie Brown, 12 carries, 84 yards. He had a 35-yard run in this first half as well. And Bagent had 4 for 11 yards running, and Blake Hartman, 2 carries for 7 yards. The receivers at the half, Ryan Beach, 3 receptions, 41 yards. Brian Walker, 3 catches, 32 yards. His first touchdown of the season. Marlon Cook, 3 catches, 25 yards. E.J. Morgan, 1 catch for 19 yards. Kenny Edlin, 1 catch for 11 yards. Ronnie Brown, 1 catch, 11 yards as well. And then the defensive stats for the two teams. Let's see here. I don't have any defensive stats. I apologize for that. But we'll get you some team stats here at the half. Shepherd has 236 total yards. Shippensburg 180. Penalties, they're 3-3. 3 for 24 for Shepherd, 3 for 30 for Shippensburg. Shepherd is 3 for 7 on third down, while the Raiders are 1 for 5. And then not really much else that stands out. Time of possession, Shepherd is leading the time of possession. It feels like for the first time all year, 17 minutes to 12 minutes. For Shippensburg. So, Travis, anything stand out to you here at the half when you look at the stats? Here's the defensive stats. Kyle Smith, 3 tackles at the half for Shepherd. He's the leader. Clayton Madden, 2. Terrell Lindsay with 2. Keyshawn Haley with 5 total tackles in that first half as well. And then Smith and Simon leading the way with 5 each. 4.5 for Matt Feeney and Javon Cruz with 3.5. But anything, like I said, Travis, really stand out to you when you look at the numbers?
Well, just the way the weather is dictating how the game is being played is going to be field position and ball control. When I mention field position, we see that the Rams, when they're kicking off to Shippensburg, are not trying to kick it deep, and I don't blame them. You don't want to try to put the ball in the hands of Red Douglas. He's been absolutely lethal on kick returns so far this year. 13 kick returns for 537 yards and 2 touchdowns. But by electing to pooch it or try to squib it up the middle, what you're doing is giving the Raiders very good starting field position. And we mentioned how the young quarterback, you want to try to keep him in a position where he's not having to shoulder too much of the burden of the offense. That's something that's helping him out. And it's, I mean, what are you going to do? Do you want to put the ball in the hands of Red, or do you want to give the Raiders really good field position for their starting offense? So that's something that's really caught my eye early on, is the Rams just trying to limit that potential of big plays, but in doing so, you really give the Raiders really good starting field position when you kick off to them.
All right, well, those were your first half stats brought to you by Dynamark Atlantic Security, reminding you, don't be a statistic. Protect your family, home, and business with the local alarm professionals at Dynamark Atlantic Security. Call Ben Copenhaver at 304-671-2158. We will take a 2-minute break. On the other side of that break, we will hear from the sports doctor, Colin McLaughlin, back in the studio, who will have a scoreboard update for you. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
Fall into a new career you'll love with WVU Medicine. On Thursday, October 20th, WVU Medicine is hosting a hiring event, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. at the Health Sciences Center on the Berkeley Medical Center campus in Martinsburg. Speak to recruiters and hiring managers about opportunities in patient access, radiology, nursing, and more. To RSVP, check us out on LinkedIn or our Facebook page at WVU Medicine, Berkeley, and Jefferson Medical Centers. We hope to see you there.
Ollie's VIP North Side is the best spot to catch all your favorite teams. Join us Monday for dollar wings and Monday Night Football, Thursdays on the patio for the cornhole tourney, Friday night lights with happy hour specials, or Saturdays during or after the college games for steak night. Get a ribeye or New York steak for just $26.95. Ollie's has great food and drink menus too, along with 17 TVs to watch any game of your choice from anywhere at the bar or their outdoor patio and fire pit. So stop by and see for yourself today at 36 Veronica Drive in Martinsburg. That's Ollie's VIP North Side. We'll see you for the game.
You've been in an accident. A distracted driver put texting over safety. Your injuries, loss of income, and medical bills can last a long time, even a lifetime. Our job is to try and secure justice that will protect you and your family for the rest of your life. Mansion Ferretti, when you need justice.
Welcome into the halftime scoreboard show from the TV 10 and WRNR TV studio. I'm Colin McLaughlin, and at the half, it is the Shepherd Rams tied with Shippensburg by a score of 7-7. Let's get some other scores from around the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. With kickoff at noon and now starting the fourth quarter, it is Gannon only up by 4 against Seton Hill by a score of 14-10. At halftime as well, it's Millersville leading Lock Haven 14-0. At the half, it is Kutztown just barely leading East Stroudsburg 14-10. In the first quarter, with 1:30 left to go, it is Clarion up by a touchdown against California PA 7-0. And going on with a kickoff here shortly, it looks like there might be a weather delay between Slippery Rock and IUP, just trying to get a score from that one. It looks like they are scoreless right now. So not a weather delay, my apologies. 7 minutes to go in the first quarter. Slippery Rock and IUP scoreless, and kickoff between Westchester and Bloomsburg is at 6 o'clock. Let's see if I can quickly get a Mercyhurst Edinboro score up as well. 10-0 Edinboro with 7 minutes to go in the first quarter over Mercyhurst. Let's now get some Division I top 25 college football scores. 1:10 to go in the third quarter. It's number 4 Michigan on top of Iowa, 20-0. 4:17 to go in the third quarter. It is number 7 Kentucky tied with number 14 Ole Miss at 19 apiece now. At the half, TCU absolutely dominating number 18 Oklahoma. TCU's up 41-17 over the Sooners. So Texas Christian, the Horned Frogs, unless something crazy happens, will remain undefeated, go to 4-0, and Oklahoma will be 3-2 and 0-2, possibly in the Big 12, unless they can pull off a miracle comeback against TCU. 8:06 to go in the third quarter. It's number 21 Minnesota tied with Purdue at 10 apiece. 3:08 to go in the third quarter. It's number 25 Kansas State tied with Texas Tech at 20. And with 9:36 to go in the first, it's number 12 Utah tied with Oregon State 7-7. At 3:30, it's number 2 Alabama kicking off against number 20 Arkansas. Number 3 number 3 Ohio State taking on Rutgers. And at 3:30 as well, number 9 Oklahoma State against number 16 Baylor, number 11 Penn State Northwestern, number 22 Wake Forest, and number 23 Florida State. I'll get more scores for you at the postgame, but for now, we'll send it back to Shippensburg University, where it's Shepherd and Shippensburg tied at 7-all. We'll take a 2-minute break. You're tuned into TV10 as well as WRNR TV on YouTube.
At the Berkeley County Health Department, our motto is Prevent, Promote, Protect. Since 1935, our mission has been to provide clinical and environmental services to protect the health of the general public. We're committed to building public health in our community by offering a wide range of services, including blood pressure screening, breast and cervical screening, family planning, counseling, lab testing, and more. We perform health inspections to make sure the restaurants you visit are clean, and we prepare and coordinate plans to respond to all hazards. The Berkeley County Health Department, 122 Waverly Court, Martinsburg.
Some are dreamers, some are doers, and just a few are both. That's the heartbeat of Shepherd University, a quality education that's within reach. In fact, we're one of the most affordable schools in the nation. Whether you're just starting off or you're ready for a new start, Shepherd University. Don't just dream, do.
Hagerstown Ford continues to be your leader in car sales up and down the I-81 corridor. We will beat any and all competitors' prices, and we've made buying a new car easier than ever with one-day delivery better than Amazon and a return policy better than Walmart. Your satisfaction is our guarantee. If you don't like it, simply return it and we'll come pick it up. No questions asked. Why would you shop anywhere else? At Hagerstown Ford, we take great pride in our community and supporting our local student athletes. That's why Hagerstown Ford is the official car dealership of Shepherd Rams quarterback Tyson Bagent. Our remote buying process has made new car shopping so easy, you'll never even set foot in a dealership. Simply go to HagerstownFord.com and click on the car you want to buy it, or use the Axle Auto app. It's that easy. You can order your new car on any device. Go to HagerstownFord.com and get your new car signed, sealed, and delivered from Hagerstown Ford.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Hello?
We're here again 3 times in the past 2 days.
You're where?
Bechtel Jewelers. Look.
Can Mom hear you?
No, she's in a diamond coma. Get her the pendant, or I will.
Hey, that's my credit card.
What? Can't hear you, Dad. You're breaking up.
It's going to take more than a crying baby to wake her out of this diamond coma. you're going to need a mega dose of jewelry from Bechtel Jewelers.
Some are dreamers, some are doers, and just a few are both. That's the heartbeat of Shepherd University, a quality education that's within reach. In fact, we're one of the most affordable schools in the nation. Whether you're just starting off or you're ready for a new start, Shepherd University. Don't just dream, do.
Mayhem is everywhere.
I'm your new bangs, and you can't stop staring at me. That's it. Just tilt the rearview mirror over here. And while you're checking me out more times than a library book, your car is wandering into that lane over there. More bangs? Neat. And if you've got cut rate insurance, you could be paying for this yourself. So get Allstate.
Call Martinsburg Allstate agent Gary Kelly today at 304-263-4596.
We welcome you back to Seth Groves Stadium on the campus of Shippensburg University. It's 7-0, or 7-7, excuse me, between Shepherd and Shippensburg in this 52nd all-time meeting between these two programs. Nick Verzolini, Travis Smith, happy to have you with us on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. Colin McLaughlin back in the studio. Our on-site producer is Spencer Dupuis. Our cameraman is Donald Kenny and Dylan Bishop. And it looks like our main camera has returned, so we apologize again for some of those first half issues. Just weather and stuff like that can cause some technical difficulties, and not our usual environment where we would have maybe multiple cameras on the roof and stuff like that. We just don't have that set up here, so we had to kind of adjust on the fly, but looks like everything should be good for the second half, and we appreciate the guys doing their best to try to get things back to normal for you, so you can have the best viewing experience possible. But 7-7 ball game, Travis. Good game between both teams. What are some things you want to see from each team if they're going to provide a way to get this win? I guess start with the Raiders this time, and then we'll move over to Shepherd.
I just think rinse and repeat. I think the plan that they had in the first half is the plan that they should stick to in the second half. Continue to pound the ball. That's going to keep your offense on schedule. Most importantly, it's going to keep your young quarterback out of tough situations where he's having to shoulder the burden of the entire offense, and it's going to keep those Shepherd pass rushers at bay. You look over on the other sideline for the Shepherd Rams. I think as they begin to open up their playbook, seems like the winds are beginning to die down. It's no longer raining, more of a mist at this point. So the playbook's probably going to open up for the Shepherd Rams, and I don't blame them for doing that, but I think something that they need to do is continue to make an effort to remain balanced. You see the way the Raiders adjusted when the Rams tried to go to more of their passing attack. The Raiders had a good adjustment for that. Don't try to force it. Use the run game to help complement that passing game, and I think that Rams offense is going to begin to take over here in the second half, and that's what it seems like they're beginning to do as this year is going on, that they seem to be more of a second half team. Remember, Tyson Bajan had that monster second half versus Kutztown, put up over 400 yards, 3 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown, and just a half of work last week versus Kutztown. So the Rams starting to see a new identity emerge for this ball club this year. You'd like to pick up where you left off from last year. That's just not realistic. You lose a lot of seniors, a lot of grad students, so you got to try to find a way for this year's team to figure out their identity and how to win tough ball games on the road in difficult conditions.
And this year's team has already achieved something that last year's team did not, which is a 4-0 start. First time since 2017. So while some of those guys are gone from last year that were big-time playmakers and just good offensive linemen, stuff like that, you're still doing great things, I think, to start this season. This wasn't the first half you wanted against Shippensburg, but Shippensburg's a much-improved team, and they are a rival. And it's tough field conditions, stuff like that going on the road, always a challenge. So Rams will see this second half kickoff brought to you by the Neon Moon Tavern, located at 4529 Shepherdstown Road in Martinsburg, as it's a squib kick. And Shepherd will dive on top of it about the 23, 22-yard line. The Neon Moon Tavern is also the host of Monday Night Mayhem each Monday night from 6 to 8 p.m. Join Colin McLaughlin, Spencer Dupuis, The head coach of the Shepherd University Rams football team, Ernie McCook, along with Tyson Bajan and more Shepherd Rams players. Always a good time. Travis, you got to make your way out to the Neon Moon Tavern maybe for a Monday.
I'll have to check it out.
Tyson or Travis Bajan's there, so get the two Travises together. Maybe you could beat him in the arm wrestling and win yourself some money.
I've been training. I really think I could take him down.
Hey, if you win, I think it's $2,000 this week. So there's a pass complete on the far sideline to Ryan Beach. First down for Shepherd, and that's a good way to start the second half for the Rams. Get Ryan Beach the football, who, interestingly, does not wear gloves in the ring. I like it. 1st and 10 now for the Rams. 14:40 to go in this third quarter. The second half just getting started between Shepherd and Shippensburg. It's a tied game at 7.
And sometimes in rainy weather, those gloves tend to get a little slick sometimes. So going barehanded, you get a true feel and grip for the ball.
Bajan under pressure, throws incomplete, intended for Brian Walker on that play, providing the pressure for Shippensburg.
42,
to be
Tyler
Simon, the linebacker. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
And we mentioned how Shippensburg does a cool thing, how they recognize some of their scout team standouts. Tyler Simon, back in 2018, named Defensive Scout Team Player of the Year. So that's a young man, he has a blue-collar work ethic, has earned his starting spot out there on the field for the Raiders, and one of the team leaders for that defensive unit.
2nd and 10 for Bajan. He throws this time complete underneath to Brian Walker. Walker runs a man over on the outside and picks up the first down. The Rams tight end scored his first touchdown of the season earlier, and they're able to pick up a first down. They're knocking him out of bounds on that far sideline.
And he has been a nice complement to that passing game all season long. You know that they have the skill guys on the perimeter, but Walker able to make his hay over the middle. Coming into today's game, 17 catches for 252 yards for the big tight end in Walker.
13 of those catches are over the past 2 weeks for Brian Walker, so he's really starting to establish himself. Bajan pumps once, now looking deep, under some heat, throws, and
that's a fumble.
It's a fumble picked up by Ryan Beach, who will turn it into positive yardage.
Yeah, heady play that time by Beach. Looked like the ball slipped out of Tyson Bajan's hands.
And it was behind the line. And, I mean, that's the thing, too. Like, Ryan Beach, if you don't hear a whistle, you have to get that football, and he does a good job of getting to it and getting, back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah,
it
wasn't
a loss on
yeah.
the play. So 2nd down and 10 here from the 47.
The Rams have gotten more than their fair share of favorable bounces so far today.
Yeah, things could definitely be flipped, but, I mean, you also have 2 missed field goals for Shepherd in this ball game. Bajan has time again. He'll sit back, throw, and nearly intercepted. Great break on the football by Matt Feeney. That guy can do a lot of different things in this Shippensburg defense. He had 6.5 tackles for a loss a week ago, which was good enough to name him the Defensive Player of the Week. We've seen some pass rush from him. We've seen some plays in the secondary. Very talented linebacker for Shippensburg. It's 3rd down here. 3rd and 10 from the Shippensburg 47. Bajan in the shotgun formation. Ronnie Brown remains the back to the right of Tyson. Marlon Cook, the receiver here, the near side. As Bajan takes the snap. Dumps it down underneath Ronnie Brown. Brown jukes at the 40, has the first down.
And that's something where Ronnie Brown was leaking out of the backfield several times in the first half and went unnoticed. I think that's something that the Rams are going to have to do, because you look at that last set, the Rams had a 2 wide receiver look out to the Cook. You had the corner playing up tight, and you had the safety lined up wide. So, I mean, they're bracketing him pretty well deep and up front. There's an injury on the field for the Raiders, but you see that game plan at work for the Raiders, and that's just something that you're not going to be able to account for, is that running back leaking out of the backfield. And Ronnie Brown has proven he's as lethal as catching passes as he is running the ball.
About 13 minutes to go in this third quarter. With the injury, let's go ahead and just take a 30-second. No, we're going to keep it here because the injury just got off the field, so I don't want to risk missing anything.
That was Tyler Simon was the player that was down. Took a little bit to gather himself.
And good thing we didn't take that break. Looks like they're going to retake the field here after that injury. So first down and 10 for Shepherd from the 34-yard line. 13:04 to go in this third quarter. Our score, Shepherd 7, Shippensburg 7. Rams on the road, but marching into Shippensburg territory. Rams don't really march, but hey, it is what it is. First down and 10.
More of a trot.
More of a trot, yeah. Trotting into Shippensburg territory. Raiders might march, I don't know. First and 10. Bajent throws near side off the chest of Kenny Edlin and incomplete.
Pass intended for number 7.
You can just see cautious throws to the perimeter. The Raiders have done a good job of coming up hard to take those passes away. And we've seen teams really be aggressive in taking away those passes to the perimeter. And that was something that kind of backfired against Kutztown last week as they attacked those bubble screens so hard that they left themselves exposed on the back end. And that's when Marlon Cook was really able to take it to them. That time, just you want a safe throw, and Edlin not able to pull it in.
Second and 10. Now for Bajent in the offense. Tyson with some time, throws underneath. Complete to Ronnie Brown, but he is stacked up immediately there on that far side.
Tackle made by Shippensburg's number 42, Tyler Simon.
And Simon again coming up and making the play. Simon and Feeney, those two linebackers, make a lot of big plays for the Shippensburg defense, which is a really solid unit. 7-7 our score, 12:20 to go now in the third quarter. It's a third down and 8 for Shepherd. Bajent with a 3 receiver set. It's Cook to the far side. Beach and Morgan, the receivers, to the near side. And Bajent looking to throw. Bajent looking deep down the near side. That's Foray, in and out of the hands and incomplete of the Lackawanna transfer. Couldn't haul in that catch on the near sideline.
And Foray saw Fayemi closing in hard. Remember that hit earlier in the game? Fayemi laid out Cook on that Shepherd Rams sideline, and you saw Foray as he was having difficulty getting a handle on the ball. His eyes couldn't help but naturally drift over to the defensive back that was screaming over towards him on the sideline.
Well, now it's E.J. Morgan to the near side with Beach in the slot and Cook on the far on a fourth down and 8 for Shepherd. 11:59 to go in this third quarter.
Looked like there was a run play called. Tyson Bajent makes an audible. Is going to switch, put Brown in sidecar, going to go to a pass.
And a flag comes in from that far sideline. We'll see what this call is.
Imagine delay a game. It was kind of late that he made that audible. Okay.
It's going to be a false start, so that one going against Marlon Cook. That will back the Rams up. And now I think they're going to punt.
That was something. It looked like there was going to be a run play call because so far today that has been a tendency that the Rams have shown is when Ronnie Brown's lined up in that pistol formation. It's just an unusual look for that Rams offense, and they've been using it to run pretty effectively so far today. Tyson Bajent looks over at the last minute, tries to make that adjustment possibly to a pass, and just the wide receivers got a little bit antsy that time.
So the Rams will punt on 4th and 13 from the 37 to Shippensburg. And it's a low kick. Good one from Rock. Hits off the returner's hands, and I think the Rams might have this football. Flag comes in. The return man is Douglas, who we talked about as dangerous. He went out of bounds. What a break for the Raiders. One of the few early on in this game. Most of them went to Shepherd, but now the Raiders get one. And there is a flag on the play.
They're looking at the Shippensburg players. Okay.
Why'd you throw it?
It slipped out. It's hard to hold on to the ball. It's hard to hold on to the flag.
That's the only thing I can think of. First down and 10. 11:50 to go here in the third quarter. 7-7 ball game between these two teams. That really could have been a huge momentum-changing play, but luckily for Shippensburg, it heads out. Unfortunately for Shepherd, The Rams weren't able to dive on top of it. So it will be 1st down and 10 from the 12-yard line for the Raiders. And we'll see what Johnson this offense has to begin this second half. I mean, what a stop, too, for Shippensburg, because typically if things are slow in the first half for Shepherd, they come out that first drive of the second half, put on points, and then really start to turn the game in their favor. But that might not be the case this afternoon. Here's Dorsey bouncing off tacklers, making men miss, running into his own player before being brought down on that play.
Tackle made by number 90.
And, excuse me, again, you see the difference. Dorsey was able to get upfield, but then once he tried to get outside to the sideline, that defense instantly swarmed on him. You got to take what you can get up the middle. That's where you're going to have your most success, because once you start trying to get out on the perimeter, that's when that Rams defense really shows their strength.
Still a gain of 6 on the play. 2nd down and 4 for Johnson, the offense, kind of a power formation. They'll run Dorsey, and he has no room. Kyle Smith came right through and made the stop in the backfield. Be 3rd down.
Not sure if there was some type of miscommunication on that one, but it was almost a delay action in the backfield where Dorsey didn't work across the quarterback's face like on the snap of the ball. He kind of waited in place, so not sure if that's the look that they were going for on that play, but again, you can't give the defenders on the edge that much time, and Kyle Smith was back there in his hip pocket before he even had the ball.
Loss of 4 on the play. It's a 3rd down and 8 for Shippensburg. Johnson dumps it down underneath, caught, but no gain really there on the play. Keyshawn Haley coming up making the play. It's complete to Cole Ballant, the tight end. It'll be 4th down, and Shippensburg will punt, and this is why Shepherd elected to punt. They can kind of flip the field here, get it right back in good field position as Rodney Dorsey will go back to return this kick.
And this is good experience for both ball clubs. When you get into these type of tight games, the weather's kind of dictating how you play, and you go ahead and...
It's a high snap, goes over the head of Tanner Luther and rolls out of the back of the end zone for a safety.
Ball goes through the end zone for a safety for Shepherd.
Field position and ball control, and you hope for a bounce to go your way, and a wet ball, and the punter made a good play, made a smart play by knocking the ball out of bounds. You don't want to give up a touchdown on that. You surrender the safety, and you have to put your defense back out there on the field. But, again, in a game like this, a funny bounce either way could really kind of set the tone for how this game's going to play out.
Shepherd takes its first lead of the ball game on the safety to go up 9-7 with 9:49 to go in this 3rd quarter. Special team scoring making a difference, Travis. While typically we think of it going against the Rams, here it goes in the Rams' favor with a bad snap. Luther, like you said, made the heads-up play of, hey, I'm not going to get to this and be able to get a punt off, so might as well hit it out of bounds and prevent a touchdown for Shepherd there. But, not what you want if you're the Raiders, and Shepherd now with 9:49 to go in this 3rd quarter. Have a 9-7 lead, and will get the football back after getting the safety and with good field position due to where you kick off from on a safety from your own 20-yard line. So it's a kick on the ground. Rolls down to about the 40-yard line. That's Dustin Fisher.
That's my collision of the game right there.
Picking up the kickoff return and then running over a man here on this near side. The Rams fullback / tight end, Dustin Fisher, the brother of the Rams right tackle, Joey Fisher. And you see he's not a guy that gets the football a whole lot because he's a blocker.
He wanted to make an impression. He most certainly did that time. The Raiders player is able to get to his feet. We hope that young man is okay, but that is the potential in those special teams plays. When you have those young men flying down the field full speed, you're going to get those high-impact collisions.
I know you put it down as your early nominee for the collision of the game, but Naeem Alexander is on the field for Shepherd.
Yes.
So he could definitely get one on another punt. As Bajent will hand it or fake it to Ronnie Brown. Throw complete to Kenny Edlin right around midfield before he's tackled on the near side here by Nazier Greer.
And we talked about the big game that Shepherd had in the second half last week versus Kutztown. And a lot of those plays came over the middle, empty space there in the hash, and they were able to really make some progress. You definitely see that the Raiders watch that game tape because they're not allowing those same type of passes over the middle here early on. That's why you see the Rams sticking with those perimeter throws with the hitches and snags.
5-yard gain on the play, 2nd down and 5. Bajent looking and caught. What a catch there for the first down by the 5'6", Ryan Beach. He leaped up, hauled that one in for a first down. I joked with Brian Walker this week because him and Ryan Beach are good friends that he kind of learned that juke move from Ryan Beach. Ryan Beach learned how to go up and get the football then for Brian Walker, the big tight end. Because he almost looked like him there. 1st down and 10 with 8:54 to go in this third quarter. Bajent handing to Ronnie Brown. Brown sheds off the entire Shippensburg defense but loses yardage on the play back to about the 40-yard line. Ronnie Brown maybe trying to do a little bit too much on that one.
And we've seen him have some heated exchanges with the coaching staff on the sidelines, and it's usually as a result of plays like that. Sometimes it's not going to be pretty, and you got to take what the defense gives you, but what you don't want to do is put your offense in a hole. Again, you're going to get a lot more good as opposed to bad with Ronnie Brown, but in a game where it's nip and tuck like that, you really don't want to put your offense in a difficult situation like that by losing yards when you could have just got a no gain.
2nd down and 13 for Shepherd with 8 minutes to go in this third quarter. Bajent ducks under a pass rusher. Now has to run into his own sideline there. Not much room for Tyson Bajent as nobody was open downfield. It'll be a 3rd and long for Shepherd. I think Bajent gained about 2 on the play to make it 3rd and 11 from the 38-yard line.
And that's a big difference. You could possibly be sitting at 3rd and 8 or 3rd and 7 if Ronnie Brown didn't try to bounce it out and lose those yards. A lot more plays in your playbook for 3rd and 7 as opposed to 3rd and 11.
Bajent looking to throw here on 3rd down and 11. Throws complete over the middle, caught for a first down. It's E.J. Morgan there on the reception for the first down at the sticks.
And a different linebacker that time in for Shippensburg, Debo Bumbray, in at that linebacker position, and he was in position to deny the pass and saw something underneath and abandoned his zone, and the second he stepped up, Tyson Bajent was able to throw a strike right behind him.
Impressive throw that time for Bajent on 3rd and 11 to find E.J. Morgan. Just about 7 minutes to go in this third quarter. They'll run a little end around with Ryan Beach, and Ryan Beach gets knocked out of bounds just short of the first down sticks.
That's one of the many wrinkles that you can see out of that zone running game. They set that play up earlier. There was a play early on where they had that tight bunch formation to the offensive line. They had the running back in the pistol, and they showed that action going around. Sure, the offensive coordinator was up in the box looking to see how that defense reacted, and that time he was able to cash in the chips and get a good gain out of Ryan Beach coming around. He's dangerous with the ball in his hands, whether you're throwing it to him or you're handing it to him.
Shepherd's going to take a timeout. We'll take a 30-second break. It's 2nd down and 2. This is Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10. It's Rams 9, Shippensburg 7.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
We welcome you back to Seth Grove Stadium. Nick Verzolini alongside me is Travis Smith, Spencer Dupuy, our on-site producer, Donald Kinney, our cameraman, along with Dylan Bishop, Colin McLaughlin back in the studio. It's a 2nd down and about 2 for the Rams. 6:36 to go in this third quarter. 9-7 Shepherd. leading here on the road. Bagent will hand to Ronnie Brown, who's got a big hole. Brown jukes a move at the 5-yard line before he's tackled. It's a first down for Shepherd. Will be a 1st and goal as the Rams continue to stick with the run and able to get the first down carry there for Ronnie Brown.
Brown comes out. Looks like Hartman comes in. Brown tried to wave him off, but it doesn't look like when he's walking, it does look like he has a limp, like he's favoring that left ankle.
Blake Hartman is the back lined up behind Bagent. They'll go Hartman, and he is stacked up. Ball came out. Luckily for Shepherd, a lineman was right there again to recover a fumble.
70, Wyatt Pelicano.
Wyatt Pelicano able to dive on top of it.
And that's a tough situation. You're standing over there on the bench. Of course, you come out there in halftime, you get warmed up, but you've been standing over there on the sidelines for a good 10 minutes. Then you come in, you're basically fighting in a phone booth because you're down that close to the end zone. There's not a lot of space. And then you get a ball, you get to hand it off the ball, and the defense is right in your face. So that's tough to try to rotate a running back in at that point in the game.
Injury on the play for Shippensburg. Looks like number 92 for
Jake
the Raiders.
Hines.
So Hines will walk off on his own power with 5:58 to go in this third quarter. And, yeah, I mean, it's got to be tough if you're Hartman. You're thrown into the game. It's a wet, rainy day, kind of cold as well. You're getting the ball in a big situation. So
and only your third carry of the game as well. So it's you're tempting fate a little bit by switching out running backs at that point.
But again, luckily for Shepherd, a lineman was in the area and able to fall on top of it.
A lot of loose balls, and they've been able to recover them so far today for the Rams.
5:50 to go in the third as Bajan in the offense retakes the field. Marlon Cook, the receiver, to the near side. Bajan throws complete to Cook. Cook throws a stiff arm out there. Tries to find some room. Gets inside the 5 before he's tackled just short of the end zone and around the 2-yard line. Riley Good along with, looked like Feeney coming up there as well. Riley Good, for a defensive lineman, makes a lot of tackles downfield, which usually isn't a good thing, but Riley Good has that ability where it's really more of an athleticism thing for him. So impressive to see. 2nd down and 3.
Particularly at 6'3", 290.
2nd and goal from the 3, I should say. Bagent, play action, throws underneath. It's Brian Walker again. Touchdown Rams. His 2nd touchdown of the day. And Shepherd extends the lead to 15-7 with 4:52 to go. It's a 3-yard touchdown pass from Tyson Bagent to Brian Walker.
And the Rams calling a timeout once they got down inside the 10, knowing that these scoring opportunities are going to be few and far between. You want to make sure everybody's on the same page and understand what you're trying to do, because you don't want to be in a tight situation where a funny bounce could cost you a ball game. So the Rams are able to make the most of their opportunity inside the red zone here in the second half.
This is a crucial extra point for Jacob Haney, and it is good because it puts Shepherd up now 9 opposed to 8, which makes it a 2-score game. So 16-7 Shepherd on top, 4:52 to go in this third quarter. We'll step aside for a 60-second break. This is Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be this football season. Join us Fridays for Martinsburg Bulldog games, Saturdays for Shepherd Rams and WVU games, and every Monday, Thursday, and Sunday nights for the NFL primetime games. We still have steak night every Wednesday, shrimp nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. So come on in and enjoy the Palace Lounge. We're located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
Remember when you were a little kid and saw your first deer?
Oh, how cute.
As an adult, maybe you've had a different experience.
Where'd that come from?
Bambi mess up your dream machine? Call Cody's Auto Body today at 304-901-4777 and get the work done right the first time. Cody's Auto Body, 851 Wilston Street in Martinsburg, has a team of auto body professionals with a lifetime of experience putting your ride back together again, regardless of how it got that way. Cody's Auto Body.
Coming back to Seth Grove Stadium Kickoff fielded around the 5-yard line by Douglas. Douglas high steps a man. Could be trouble. Reed Douglas, one-on-one with Jacob Haney. Haney did just enough to slow him down.
And you see why Shepherd didn't want to kick that man the ball. He's dangerous. He's dangerous on kick returns.
Keyshawn Haley ends up saving the touchdown, but Jacob Haney, give him some credit. He did do his job kind of by getting in Douglas's way and making contact. While he didn't make the tackle, it did enough to slow Douglas down, allowed Haley to track him down and make the tackle. But this sets up Shippensburg in obviously a favorable position here, and if the Raiders want to have a chance, I think, to come back and win this thing, while there's still a ton of time left, it just feels like already that maybe Shepherd might be getting into its groove offensively. So you got to get some points here, Travis, I think.
Yeah, I think it's a critical drive, but it's important that you don't try to force things down the field. This is the perfect time for turnovers. When you're behind, you get one play that goes in your favor. Now you're trying to really push all your chips to the middle of the table. It will be smart for the Raiders right now. Stick with that run game. Keep pounding. Keep your offense on schedule.
Johnson will give it to Moon. And Moon finds a little bit of room there off that right side.
On the tackle, number 3, Dwayne Grantham.
And it will be second down and about 8 after the 2-yard pickup.
The Raiders try to set up that counter run play. They were able to fake the jet sweep going to the left side of the offensive formation. Then they have Moon coming back with that counter action. He had the lead block out in front. And again, it looked like it was a much larger window. It looked like he was going to be able to get more yards than what he ended up with. But again, that's the credit that you got to pay to that Rams defensive unit. They are just so quick to react and just tremendous amount of effort in getting to the ball.
Johnson will hand it off again. Looks like Moon again. And he'll get out to about the 30-yard line before he's stacked up on the play. Dwayne Grantham along with Solomon Alexander in there as well.
And Moon, more of the downhill thumper in this offense. Like we mentioned, Khalid Dorsey, 5'11", 170 pounds. You look over at Nasai Moon, 5'11", 205 pounds. So that's a pretty big running back. It's not eye-popping numbers, but 5'11", 205, that's a bowling ball. That's tough to bring down, particularly when it's cold and wet outside.
3rd and 4, Moon remains the back. Dorsey was on the field for the previous play as a flag comes in from that far sideline. So I was wondering for a second if maybe there was something wrong with Dorsey because he's been getting the majority of the carries, but as a false start, we'll back him back. But they just had both guys out there, so they're getting Moon some touches here and could have to do, too, with that. The conditions, like you said, Travis, as it will be a 3rd and long here for Shippensburg after having what was a 3rd and manageable. So real costly penalty potentially here. 3rd down and 9 for the Raiders.
Because it was a 3rd down where you possibly could have chose to run the ball if you wanted to.
Now you have to throw it, most likely. And they will. Johnson under some heat. Johnson off his back foot throws and nearly intercepted. Keyshawn Haley was trying to get to that football. Both edge rushers and Holloway and Kyle Smith were coming and trying to get there quickly.
You just see how fast that they're able to gain ground. That's why you have to really make a conscious effort to have plays where the ball can get out of your quarterback's hands quickly, because as you try to go and attack that Rams secondary vertically, that's just more and more time for Smith and Holloway, who are just premier pass rushers, and get in the backfield and wreak havoc.
So Shippensburg will take a timeout. Let's go ahead and take a 30-second break. It's Shepherd 16, Shippensburg 7, 2:41 to go in this 3rd quarter. We're back in 30.
I'm Jonathan Bodwell, Bodwell Insurance Solutions, your local Medicare and life insurance agency. We are here to help you navigate the Medicare maze. We represent all of the major carriers, and you do not pay any more to go through us than if you go directly through a carrier. But if you go through us, you have a local professional to help you with all your Medicare needs, not a voice that could be in some other part of the world. Bodwell Insurance Solutions, your local Medicare agency, BodwellInsuranceSolutions.com or 304-283-0864.
We welcome you back to Shippensburg at Seth Grove Stadium. Good ball game between these two teams. Shepherd with a 16-7 lead, 2:41 to go in this 3rd quarter. Shippensburg has it at the 34-yard line of Shepherd. It's 4th down and 9, and the Raiders are going to be forced to keep their offense on the field. Johnson in the shotgun formation looking to throw. Johnson throws. Intercepted! Intercepted by Dwayne Grantham. I'm sorry, that's Devin Lynch this time. Lynch across midfield. Lynch is still on his feet. Lynch all the way down inside the 30-yard line. The converted defensive back, showing why they moved him from linebacker to DB, but now they got him back at linebacker, and he still makes plays in the secondary.
And that is certainly a throw that once back he had Nasai Moon wide open in the flat, and there was nothing about that coverage that should have made him make that throw. That receiver was bracketed over the top and underneath, and he just tried to make an impossible throw in that window, and that's just something where Shippensburg has done a good job of keeping him out of those situations, but eventually you're going to need your quarterback to step up and make a big third down throw, and that time the young man wasn't able to come through for his ball club.
Agent throws underneath, complete to Ryan Beach, and Beach is knocked out of bounds at around the 20-yard line. So Shepherd can all of a sudden really blow this game open as it's 16-7 currently. It's about 2 minutes to go in this third quarter. And the Rams, after the Devin Lynch interception, have it in Shippensburg territory at the 20-yard line. 2nd down and 3 for the Rams. Looks to be a little bit of confusion between Ronnie Brown and Tyson Bagent, but Bagent will take the snap. Go Ronnie Brown. Ronnie Brown is going to go into the end zone. Touchdown, Shepherd. He got off one tackler, saw open field, and took it into the end zone to give Shepherd the 22-7 lead with 1:48 to go in this third quarter. That looked a little bit too easy for Ronnie Brown.
Didn't even seem like he had to drop it in the 5th gear to get into the end zone. And that time he's not giving the Rams coaching staff an opportunity to pull him out of the game, to put in Hartman. He went ahead and took it the distance that time. And again, just when you're able to have that run game complement the passing game, that's when this Rams offense is just particularly dangerous. And I think this is going to be an important game for the Rams as a football team moving forward this season, the way they've been able to play today.
Extra point is up and good, so Shepherd has found a way to extend its lead now to 23-7 with 1:48 to go in this third quarter. Let's take a 60-second break. This is Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
Located at 4529 Shepherdstown Road in Martinsburg, the Neon Moon Tavern has delicious food and cold beverages. Stop on in Mondays for some mayhem with us and Shepherd quarterback Tyson Bagent, or on Tuesday for some gourmet tacos. Wednesdays is whiskey and trivia night. Thursday is steak night. Fridays are dinner specials. Saturdays there's live music. And Sunday morning is brunch. We're open every day from 11 a.m. to 3 a.m. Call us at 304-260-4002 for takeout or stop on in to the Neon Moon Tavern.
If you're in an accident, the first thing that you have to do is call 911. You have to get medical care immediately.
The next thing you need to do is call us. When you hire us at the Skinner Law Firm, what we do is we are going to investigate your case, and we're going to lay out the options that you have, all at no cost to you.
We will use all of our resources and all of our experience to get you what you deserve. That's what we mean by treating you like family.
Welcome you back to Shippensburg. Red Douglas trying to bounce off Shepherd defenseman on the kickoff return, but Shepherd just continuing to pursue and eventually bring him down after not a great kickoff return, and now slow to get up is Douglas.
He went down in a heap of defenders. He was trying to make something happen, and as he was trying to hurdle over defender, he took a hard shot, looked like on his knee or shin, and his teammates tried to help him up and realized that he wasn't going to make it off the field at that time. Went right back down. Now the trainers are out there looking at him. But the Rams, they tempted fate one time by kicking it to him. They see what he has the potential to do, and that time they squibbed it. He was still able to get the ball in his hands, but the ball taking that little bit of extra time to get down there, it also allows that coverage team to get down there and surround him, and that's what they were able to do.
Douglas, able to get off on his own power, and Wind's starting to pick up a little bit here in Shippensburg. 1:40 to go in this third quarter. It's Shepherd 23, Shippensburg 7. Raiders took the early 7-0 lead on the Dorsey 80-yard touchdown run. The Rams, though, have found a way to get back into it. Brian Walker has a pair of touchdowns. It's the Ronnie Brown touchdown run on the last drive, and now Dorsey throws complete to his number 1 wide receiver, Sheehan, and he is knocked out of bounds at around the 25-yard line. Haven't really had him involved too much in the offense today, Travis.
Well, they've been able to run the ball so effectively, so it really hadn't been something that they've had to do. But now they're in a position where they have a lot of points that they're trying to make up. Could see him come back into the game and play a much larger role here late in the second half.
Yeah, you got to throw the ball at this point with 1:32 to go, down 16. Player down there on that far side for Shepherd. Can't quite see the number there to be able to tell you who that is, but kind of a grinded out game now. Shippensburg falling behind a little bit. Shepherd getting the other touchdowns to put things together offensively. Looks to be Nathan Muley down on the field.
You can see Shippensburg, they certainly looked at that game tape of the Rams versus Kutztown last week, because a lot of the things that they've been doing today, you can see that that's what Kutztown had success with last week. Just to think about all those short passes that Jerome Capp was able to get. He's just a more physical, bigger wide receiver, able to break those tackles. But Sheehan is not a slouch. I mean, and he's not small. I mean, 6 foot, 195 pounds, but he is very tough to bring down in open field, especially in one-on-one type situations.
Yeah, I mean, Jerome Capp kind of looks like a tight end when he gets the football.
Yeah, he's a big guy. Yeah, he was a big guy.
And has a lot of speed as well, but he's a tough cover, so is Sheehan. Give credit to the Rams, though, for knowing that they would make those adjustments. It looks like Johnson might have turned the wrong way, giving the handoff here to Dorsey.
And that's the second time out of that look.
Benarski there to make the stop for Shepherd, and it'll be 3rd and 2 for Shippensburg.
And I mean, and having the running back in sidecar as opposed to pistol, just gives you different type of run plays that you can use, more downhill stuff with the running back and pistol, and that's just something where the quarterback's going to have to get on the same page with his running back, because you can't have those type of miscues in the backfield.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter. Johnson, flag comes in, throws underneath, complete for a first down and more for Shippensburg.
Pass is completed to number 21, Khalid Dorsey.
It's Dorsey in there on the reception.
It looks like the call is going to be offsides on the defense. So that was a free play for that Shippensburg offense. And that last time where Johnson threw the interception, he had a wide open running back in the flat that was Nasai Moon. And that time they came back to it, was able to get the ball to Dorsey.
So penalty will be declined there on the offsides. That will give Shippensburg a first down. First down and 10 now, and clock will start to roll under 30 seconds. Shippensburg does need to run the one play before the end of this third quarter, and obviously being down 23-7, you want to do that, as there's 13 on the play clock. Johnson in the shotgun formation. Pistol formation, with 3 receivers set, and they will run it. Dorsey doesn't find much room at all. He had a seam. It looked like if he were to bounce it to the outside a little bit. Typically we say, you don't want to bounce it against the Shepherd defense, but there was a decent hole.
Yeah, and it was something where he wouldn't have had to bounce. It was just something where if he would have able to cut it back.
Yeah.
But he kind of had tunnel vision on that one and really didn't look for that cutback lane. And he would have had a lot of room to run if he did. And you saw before the play, kind of tipping his hand, Johnson was trying to figure out, I'm handing it here. Like you'll see that little conversation between the running back and the quarterback.
So at the end of 3, Shepherd 23, Shippensburg 7. Still got a lot of time, though, remaining in this ball game, so we will take a 60-second break, and when we return, we'll have the fourth quarter. This is Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
With Honda, every summer adventure is the destination. Take your adventures even farther with Honda, America's most fuel-efficient full-line automaker. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 2.9% APR on a 2022 Honda Civic and a 3.9% APR on a 2022 Accord or 2023 HRV.
CMA's Honda of Winchester, 3985 Valley Pike. CMA, moving lives forward.
See dealer for financing details. Exclude Civic SI based on EPA estimate of MY20 full line automaker fleet-wide fuel economy 2021 EPA Automotive Trends Report.
Oh, shoot. We're going to miss a play here.
The Larry DeMarco team at Modern Realty Results believes buying a new home requires a dedicated team that cares about your needs and concerns. Our experienced team is from the area, and we care about this community because it is our home as well. Whether it's a $30,000 home or a $3 million home, we will be hands-on and invested throughout the entire process. Thinking of buying or selling in West Virginia? We've got the tri-state area covered.
TV 10 by Smallwood and Small Insurance, your total insurance solution at 121 Administrative Drive. Call 304-263-3361. As here's a pass complete for a first down. There's Douglas again with the reception. And McDowell coming up to make the tackle. Our other third quarter sponsor was Chris Ross of the Milestone Real Estate Group. Buying or selling a home but don't know where to start? Call Chris Ross at 304-268-2777 or go to callchrisross.com. First down and 10 for the Raiders now from the 47-yard line. Beginning this fourth quarter, down 23-7. Another free play, and they'll throw, and what a catch by Sheehan. We see now why he is one of the best receivers in the conference, and
that's one of those catches that you put on the front of the media guide right there.
Good throw, too, by Johnson. Penalty on the play. I believe it's going to be offsides against Shepherd, so the Raiders will most likely decline this one. Yep, all sides against the defense. So first down.
And usually calls like that, that's usually the result of the opposing coaches working the refs a little bit. But like, look, they're lining up off sides. Check this guy out here. So that's something just during the course of the game. You kind of put that bug in the ear of the referees to keep an eye out for. And you want to try to back off those defenders off the edge as much as possible because they're trying to take as much space as possible.
First and 10 from the 42. Johnson throws incomplete. Intended on this near side for his tight end, Cole Ballant.
And everybody was blanketed on that one. Ballant was covered. Sheehan was covered. The Rams defense, they were ready for that look.
So second down and 10 for the Raiders. 23-7 Shepherd on top. 13:31 to go in this fourth quarter. Johnson adjusting here at the line of scrimmage. Will be second down and 10.
I'm betting it's a run play.
Play action. They faked you out and faked out the Rams defense as well, but this is going to be close, I think. I think it should be an incompletion because I don't know if the receiver ever had that football here on this knee sideline. And it will be ruled incomplete, intended for Red Douglas, so it'll be third down and 10. My only question was, did the officials see that ball come out when it did or saw the bobble, but the officials were on top of it there. So third down and 10. And a crucial third down here for Shippensburg, down 23-7 with just over 13 minutes and 20 seconds to go in this fourth quarter. Johnson in the shotgun formation. Dorsey is the back to his left. And Johnson takes the snap. Throws incomplete. Devin Lynch in coverage, intended for Dorsey. It will be fourth down.
And that time Johnson just waited too long. Dorsey was open, but he was open earlier in the route. If he would hit him in that first window as opposed to the second window, that probably would have been a completion. Just the young quarterback that's waiting a little bit too late to try to get the ball to his running back.
So 4th down and 10 from the 42.
Because Dorsey is a good receiver out of the backfield. Last season had 10 catches for 80 yards, so he does have good hands out of the backfield.
Johnson throws over the middle, nearly intercepted again. It will fall incomplete.
Of the potential things that could have happened that play, that was probably the least violent thing that could have happened. Because if that defender put a hit on Douglas, that would have been ugly. Also had a chance to intercept that ball. That's probably the best case scenario for everybody involved.
So that will allow Shepherd to take over from the 42 of Shippensburg. 13 minutes, 13 seconds to go in this fourth quarter. Shepherd on top, 23-7. A rainy day here in Shippensburg, Pennsylvania. Nick Verzolini, Travis Smith, happy to have you with us as the Rams look to get to 5-0. They will run the ball here with Ronnie Brown, who scampers forward for a few. 5-0 would be for the first time since 2017. That season was an undefeated year for Shepherd.
And those are the type of runs that Ronnie Brown needs to add to his repertoire. We know that he can make the off-schedule play, that he can bounce it out and make something happen. It's those type of they don't show up as anything spectacular in the stat sheet, but sometimes you just got to take what the defense gives you. That's the element that he needs to add to his run game consistently. That's going to make him even that much more of a dangerous running back.
And that's the thing, Ronnie Brown is only a junior. He still has another year of eligibility after this season as Bajent looking to throw deep down the far sideline for Marlon Cook. Back shoulder. Did he get a foot in? No, he did not. It's incomplete. One thing that will probably end today is Marlon Cook's 100-yard receiving days to start the season. There's a hold on the play as well, so even if Cook made that catch, it would have got taken away.
And that was one of the few times that the Rams have tried to really stretch the field and attack that defense vertically. And like we mentioned, for Shippensburg, you're going to need extra time in the pocket to let those deep routes develop. And that time, in doing so, got a holding penalty.
Joey Fisher hit with the holding. Kind of a rare penalty on him, but probably was a situation where he felt like it was in his best interest and the best interest of the team for him to pick up a hold with 12:26 to go.
Sure, his quarterback has no complaints.
In this fourth quarter, Shepherd on top. Dump it down to Ronnie Brown. Brown does not find much room.
Yeah, Shippensburg, they sniffed that out instantly. They had two defensive linemen over there just waiting for him. Good job by the defense doing their scouting report.
Coming over and making that tackle was Garrett David. So it'll be 3rd and long for Shepherd, 3rd and about 20 for the Rams as we approach now 12 minutes to play in this one. Rams on top, 23-7 here at Seth Grove Stadium. Bajent in the shotgun formation. 3rd down and 20 for the Rams. Shepherd looks to throw. Bajent with time, but not much open downfield. Throws complete to Brian Walker right at the sticks, but another holding call is going to take away this play.
You know, weather is certainly playing a factor, but you have to give a ton of credit to that Shippensburg secondary. They have had an awesome game plan. They've stuck to their guns, and not a lot of time that you see Tyson Bajent in that backfield having that much time, not being able to find an open target.
So that will make it 3rd and 30 for Shepherd. 11:39 to go in the fourth quarter. The Rams lead 23-7.
And now you're just in a spot where you need to play it safe. I know that kind of goes against what Shepherd likes to do, but this is something, maybe a screen pass, possibly a draw. But you have the lead. It's the fourth quarter. Ugly weather conditions. No reason to try to risk the ball. Just keep that clock running. Get a good punt off.
And with Shippensburg's young quarterback, they're not really built to come back, so they will throw it quickly underneath. Complete on the far side to Ryan Beach, who does the best he can with that play and gets it across to the 31-yard line. Simon coming over to push him out of bounds, and now we'll have Orion Barrick punt, which is a rare sight, but a welcomed one, I think, in this situation.
He's probably as surprised as we are.
He had a great punt earlier that nearly resulted in a turnover for Shippensburg. (23-7) Shepherd on top. Barrick's punt, this time a low kick, rolling inside the 40, inside the 35, and all the way inside the 30-yard line. And we have another penalty on the play.
I think it's going to be offsides on the defense, so not sure if the Rams are going to want to kick that one again.
We will have to wait and see here with 10:40 to go in this fourth quarter. Officials discussing this penalty. I think, Travis, while the rain has been a consistent kind of misty rain, it hasn't been that hard, heavy rain that
it was during pregame.
Yeah, it was during pregame, and it still played a factor here today, but it could have been, I think, a lot bigger of a factor if it was that kind of nasty rain or harder rain. It's just kind of the annoying.
Yeah, like Millersville. More of a nuisance than anything. The Millersville game, that was monsoon season right there. that rain was pouring down. It was coming down sideways, yeah.
There's a difference.
Yeah. Okay.
That would be the longest discussion about an offsides penalty.
Yeah, 5 yards. They want to make sure they cross all their T's and dot all their I's on that one.
Maybe it was just simply that they wanted to know if that was an option, or make certain that that was an option to add it on to the end of the kick, opposed to having Shepherd re-kick if they accepted. With 10:40 to go, it's Shepherd 23. Shippensburg 7, 10:40 to go in this ball game, and the Raiders have the football. Johnson looking to throw. He's under pressure. Throws it underneath, complete to Moon, I believe that is, and Moon now runs a man over.
No, that was Dorsey.
That is Dorsey. He kind of looked like Moon with how he was running more low to the ground, it seemed like, but
Dorsey lowers the boom. Wow, this is going to be tough to pick collision of the game. There's been quite a few.
Which one do you think changed the outcome of the ball game, Travis, is really what it comes down to with the collision of the game and all the post-game awards, but we'll get to those, of course, in the post-game show. With about 10 minutes to go in this one, still plenty of time for some changes in those awards. And so here's a run up the middle with Dorsey, not much room. Shepherd stacks it up in that middle. I mean, we tend to talk about that the Rams' speed to the outside makes it tough to run on Shepherd, but it does seem like this year the middle has been very tough as well.
They're stout. They are stout in the middle, absolutely.
Especially against the run. Shepherd has been.
But now it's like they have some more size. They got guys like Dunbar up front, and that's just more size than what they've had in years past. Sometimes you just need the bigger bodies.
Third down and about 2 for Shippensburg, and here's another flag. The flags are just pouring more than the rain is pouring in this second half.
Had a nice, smooth first half, and now we got a choppy second half.
It's a lot of offensive penalties as well, false starts and offsides. Guys just want to get an advantage in some way.
Yeah. Because just playing in the rain, it kind of slows everything down, so you're just looking for that extra edge to get that jump on your opponent. And no, what's the saying? If you're not cheating, you're not trying.
That is a saying, but it's not morally correct. 9:25 to go. Johnson throws. A great effort, but incomplete. Intended for Douglas again. He's been fighting through.
Took that hard shot on his leg on that last kick return for Shippensburg, and still seems to have some issues with it.
But it's been impressive that he stayed in the ball game to this point, but maybe with the score being the way it is, we won't see much more of Douglas. I don't know.
But might I suggest that you pull your knee pads down
That's
over
true.
your knees?
It looks like he's running in shorts out there.
Yeah. Like, come on, man.
Here's the punt. Rodney Dorsey fields, and Dorsey with a rare opportunity to return today gets it into Shippensburg territory. I'm sure as a JV coach especially, you probably have to say that to guys all the time.
Yes, because they see college players or pro players and guys are not wearing thigh pads or knee pads at all or things rolled up over their knees. I'm like,
and if you don't do it in high school, you're going to get a penalty, you're going to cost your team, and you're not going to be able to play, essentially.
Yeah. I'm like, and just from a common sense, you're going out there to play a physical,
true.
hard-fought game. I want every pad that is available. And it don't even have to be for football. I'll take some soccer shin guards. I'll take some lacrosse hand pads, all of it.
9:12 to go. They'll run Hartman. Hartman has a nice hole. Gets it out to the 45-yard line. Blake Hartman, a guy that continues to get better for this team. And you could see a situation where next year, if Shepherd's offense changes a little bit with a different quarterback, you have that nice 1-2 punch of Hartman and Ronnie Brown with whoever ends up being the quarterback. That's a good situation for that guy to step into. A second down and 6 here for Shepherd. Hartman will get kind of these carries here to close this one out, and he'll
big hit
not find much room that time.
Looked like that was Tyler Simon again. Hard-nosed linebacker for the Raiders. 5'11", 210, redshirt junior.
No gain on that play, so it'll be third down at 6. Yeah, Simon, Feeney called those guys' names a lot today. Good as well. A solid Shippensburg defense that will keep them in some games this year, and we'll see where the Raiders end up at the end of the season. But they definitely have fought hard today and made things difficult for Shepherd at times, as Bajent will look to throw on third down at 6. It's back shoulder and incomplete. So the Rams will go 3 and out, will be forced to punt with 7:58 to go in this fourth quarter, and Shepherd leading 23-7.
Looked like there may have been a miscommunication between the wide receiver and the quarterback. Tyson Bajent expecting a comeback. The wide receiver felt like he had the step and continued on down the sidelines. Luckily for the Rams, the defensive back didn't pick up on that.
I said Shepherd was forced to punt, but the offense remains on the field here with 4th down and 6.
Could we see another quick kick today?
We'll see. Bajent does take a little step back, and he will punt it, and it's a good one. It will bounce it around the 21, help the Tyson Bajent net yardage as he'll down it this time, or the Rams will down it at the 6-yard line. But he had that touchback earlier. He said, "Coach, I'm a better punter than that. Let me pin him inside the 10." With 7:50 to go, it's Shepherd 23, Shippensburg 7. And the Raiders will take over. I was going to say, I can't imagine Shepherd would go for it in that situation to potentially give Shippensburg a short field in a game that, while Shepherd is in control of, you give them a short field, a quick score, and it could turn into a much closer ball game and a chance for Shippensburg to get back into it still.
Yeah, no reason to give them even an opportunity to get a spark.
Here it's now a 95-yard drive to get into the end zone if you want to. Dorsey, though, will hurdle a man at the...
That was Moon.
No, that was Moon.
Yeah,
okay.
Moon with the fresh legs.
Looking. See Cowser out there for defense making the tackle. Shepherd's got a few different guys subbing in on both sides of the field. We saw some younger receivers out there on that last drive. So Shippensburg trying to get something going here, at least get some momentum heading into next week, or potentially make things interesting down the stretch. But they are going to keep running the football with Moon again. Doesn't find much room. Gets across the 21 to the 22-yard line.
And again, I understand why they're electing to stay on the ground. tough game, but you don't want to put your quarterback in a position where he's going to lose confidence going down the road. So you don't want to expose him to extra hits. You don't want to have him the chance of like losing his confidence during the course of the season. So stick with your game plan. You got good running backs. Go ahead and let them do their job.
Johnson throws complete, near side. Good play here for Shippensburg. On the reception, it's A.J. Tesco with the reception and the first down and more. And I think, too, for Shippensburg, it's an identity thing as well. You're kind of a run-first football team. You're not really built to throw the ball all over the place with your young quarterback.
Yet. I'd say yet. I'd say a big yet. Sam Johnson has certainly shown flashes where they can be excited about that young man's future.
Yeah, I mean, Boston College transfer, you definitely see some talent there. First down and 10 from the 43. Johnson takes the snap under some heat. Steps up, throws a dart over the middle, complete for a first down and more, and into the end zone for a Shippensburg touchdown. Raiders making the catch and taking it into the end zone is Roof for the touchdown, and it's now 23-13 with 6:05 remaining in this fourth quarter. So right on cue, Johnson and the Raider offense using the passing game to get into the end zone.
So now they're going to have to go for two to have a chance to claw their way back into this game. They're still going to need, say they convert this two-point conversion, they're still going to need another touchdown, another two-point conversion to try to tie it up. But you can see this Shippensburg team not ready to call it a night just yet. And again, you see Sam Johnson when he's able to set his feet. Oh, a little trickeration that time by the Raiders.
Johnson takes the snap, rolls to the right, throws incomplete. Two-point conversion broken up by Clayton Batten, who's had a real nice day today.
Batten has really emerged as the leader as far as those cornerbacks are concerned. And again, you see how well schooled this Rams defensive unit is. They're prepared for today's game. That was a different look, a wild shift right before the snap of the ball where they really overloaded it to the one side. The Rams defense, Johnny on the spot, they were there, they were expecting it, able to make a play on the ball and deny the Raiders that two-point conversion.
Let's take a 30-second break after the touchdown. It's Shepherd 23, Shippensburg 13, 6:05 to go. Let's just take a 30 here, Colin.
October is Safe Sleep and SIDS Awareness Month. WVU Medicine, Berkeley Medical Center, and Jefferson Medical Center are joining in the effort to promote healthy sleep habits for newborns and raise awareness about sleep-related risks to infants. The Birthing Center Safe to Sleep team at Berkeley Medical Center and Jefferson Medical Center have both earned distinction as Gold Certified Safe Sleep Champions by the National Safe Sleep Hospital Certification Program. If you are a parent of an infant, the first thing you can do to help create a healthy sleep environment is to clear the crib.
We welcome you back to Shippensburg University, Seth Grove Stadium. Nick Versleen, Travis Smith. Happy to have you with us for Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. Good ball game here between Shepherd and Shippensburg, the 52nd all-time meeting. It's the longest tenured rivalry in the PSAC for Shepherd, because these two teams obviously only about an hour away from each other. They played a bunch of non-conference games before, and now they get to meet in conference every year, being a part of the same division. So Shippensburg will kick it away. Looks like it's going to be an onside kick attempt, though, for the Raiders, who are down 10 here with 6 minutes and 5 seconds to go in the ball game. Say, Ernie McCook, we could hear him all the way from here trying to call timeout, but was not given it, and the Rams do recover the onside kick.
Edlin, that did a good job that time, securing the football and then curling up to protect himself in the football.
So Kenny Edlin there to get that onside kick recovery.
Ball be spotted at the midfield stripe, brings up 1st and 10 for the Rams.
Our fourth quarter is presented to you by Smallwood and Small Insurance, your total insurance solution at 121 Administrative Drive. Call 304-263-3361. along with Hagerstown Ford, revolutionizing the car buying experience. Go to HagerstownFord.com. Pass there is dropped for Shepherd.
Pass intended for number 47.
Michael McCook can't haul that one in. And he says, well, Coach, I'm not in the end zone.
That's when he's like, this isn't his part of the field.
2nd down and 10 for Shepherd. Interesting, though, to start the drive with a pass.
But I like the look because it was off of a play-action pass. You used that action several times today. So it was set up well. It was there. It just wasn't able to wrangle the catch.
They'll go Ronnie Brown here, and Brown is stacked up in midfield. So things are getting interesting here, Travis, because there's still just over 5.5 minutes to play.
There's some pressure to get these first downs and close this thing out. Absolutely.
It's a 10-point game. I mean, it's going to be very tough, but anything is possible. And with plenty of time to go, you could get a quick touchdown, an onside kick, and all of a sudden tie this ball game. So 5.5 minutes to go. Shepherd has it 3rd down and 8. This is a big situation as the Shippensburg crowd that did come out today is on its feet. Bajan throws complete right at the first down marker for Brian Walker.
Walker, good job going up top and pulling that one in. He has just emerged as a man over the middle. Just a tremendous compliment. You got Cook out on the outside. You also have Beach working in that slot, but Walker's super tough as a tight end, making those tough catches over the middle.
Brian Walker.
And that Shippensburg coaching staff not feeling too good about that spot. That was a generous spot that time.
Yeah, I thought it was close to the sticks. Could have gone really either way, I think, in that situation. They'll go Ronnie Brown. He's shedding off tacklers. Good job there to chase him down from behind.
It looks like he has that left ankle is heavily taped for Brown, but it might be kind of a blessing in disguise because he's had to be more disciplined today, as opposed when he's operating at 100%, really tries to force things that sometimes aren't necessarily there, but him being hampered by the injury is now making him be a little bit more of a conservative back, and it might be helpful as far as his development as a young running back.
And Ronnie's had a good day on the ground for the Rams. They'll feed him again, and Ronnie Brown doing what he can.
Got to stay in bounds.
Unable to stay in bounds, though. It'll be 3rd down. And a late flag comes in from that far side. 2 of them now, as things get a little chippy in this Shepherd-Shippensburg rivalry.
It looks like number 15 for Shippensburg, Brandon Holt, may have got one of those flags, but I'm thinking somebody from Shepherd also got a flag as well.
And the good old offsetting penalty. We'll see if that is the case. 4:15 to go in this 4th quarter. 23-13, Shepherd on top. And we will wait the official's call, but our thoughts is that it's probably going to be offsetting between these two teams for some unsportsmanlike or, late hit after the play, whatever it may be.
We have 2 fouls. Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 87 of the offense. Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 15 of the defense. Penalties will offset. Number 87 and number 15's first unsportsmanlike conduct foul.
I know what he's getting ready to say, but it still always makes me worry after you get the unsportsmanlike conduct and he says the name again because you're expecting him to make the motion like they've been ejected from the game.
Right.
It's always I know what's getting ready to happen, but I still like, uh-oh.
It's the anticipation.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's 3rd down and 7 here for Shepherd. Can Bajan in the offense pick up another big 3rd down, or will Shippensburg get a crucial stop and give themselves a chance? Bajan throws, caught by Ryan Beach on the near side, trying to get to the sticks. And he did. It's another 1st down for Shepherd. That's an impressive throw from Tyson Bajan to throw it all the way here to this near side to Ryan Beach, who for some reason was left all alone. You never want to leave number 9 in space. And Shippensburg somehow was able to do that, and the Rams now get that first down. Clock rolling now to 3:45 and counting. They continue to run the ball. You're going to put it tougher and tougher for a Raider comeback. 1st and 10. There's Ronnie Brown up the middle, and he'll find some room before he's stacked up by Good.
And that's one of the favorite run plays of that Shepherd Rams offense, is using that power. That time, the big left guard, Wyatt Pelicano, was pulling around. He's looking to climb up to that play side linebacker. Then you also have McCook. He's in that wing position. He works himself across that formation, looking to kick out that end defender. And Ronnie Brown doing a good job of just running downhill, taking what the defense can give him. Yeah, not a big gain on first down, but what you don't want to be in a tough situation of being 2nd and 10. So you'll definitely take 2nd and 8 and 2nd and 7.
Bagent play action. Bagent looking for Ryan Beach, and it's incomplete.
Pass intended for number 9, Ryan Beach, is incomplete.
So it's another 3rd and long. But the Rams have gotten those 3rd and longs here on this drive. It's a 3rd down and 8 for Shepherd. 2:48 to go in this 4th quarter. It's Shepherd 23, Shippensburg 13. Bagent and the offense looking to convert another one. Alfonso Foray is the receiver here to the near side. Cook and Beach appear to be the receivers to the far side, and Brian Walker's in there at tight end. Bagent throwing for Foray, back shoulder, incomplete. That's a tough play to go for on 3rd and 8.
At this point, just keep the clock running. And you go for passes the past 2 times. I understand you want to go for the jugular, you want to go for the knockout punch and win this game, but just the way the game has been played today, you know that those opportunities aren't going to come your way. Just you're going to have to manage it. It's not going to be a pretty game, and just accept it for what it is. It's like, okay, we're going to have to just manage it, control the clock, field position, and win the ball game like that. And it's something that's going to help you become a better football team as the season wears on.
It looks like Shepherd will go for it here on 4th down and 8. So Bagent looking to throw, has some pressure, throws, incomplete. It's a turnover on downs for the Rams. And with 2:39 to go, Shippensburg gets the football back. I have a few things that I'm kind of thinking over here, and this is no disrespect to Alfonso Foray. I think he's a capable wide receiver. Hasn't really got it going, though, to this point. And that's really my bigger question is why is the play designed necessarily for Foray, who hasn't been your guy today? You know, Marlon Cook's always been your guy all year. Brian Walker's made some big plays. That's a tough situation to put Foray in to try to make a back shoulder catch, and then there on 4th and 8 going for it. I don't know if it – I feel like he kind of had to, so I don't know. Weird situation, though, for the Rams, but this one is complete to Ballant. And he'll pick up a few. 7 on the play, batting in on the tackle, 2:32 to go. So Shippensburg has a little bit of a chance still. Johnson takes the snap. I thought Kyle Smith was offsides. He was, and they throw complete. Poor tackling by the Rams. It's a 1st down and more. Shippensburg can decline this penalty because Kyle Smith lined up offside. So it's a 1st down for the Raiders. 2:14 to go, 23-13, Shepherd on top, but things are starting to get a little bit interesting, as it really has kind of been all day. Shippensburg's just stuck around and kept themselves in this ball game. We'll get the official announcement. There it is. So 1st down for Shippensburg. Move the ball to the 49-yard line. Johnson adjusting things at the line of scrimmage. The young quarterback trying to lead what would be a historic comeback in this rivalry. Johnson throws off his back foot and intercepted by Shepherd. That will close things out. That's Keyshawn Haley. He's had a few opportunities to do just that. He had the opportunity last week to get a game-sealing interception. That one, though, a floater off the back foot of Johnson. He'll have to learn from that play as Keyshawn Haley just sealed the deal for Shepherd. Most likely, you're 2:02 to go and a 23-13 lead.
Just the growing pains of having a young quarterback, and you didn't even have to look downfield to tell that play wasn't going to end up to your benefit. He's falling off of his back foot. He's throwing to the sideline, and it was a desperate play when he didn't have to play desperately. They still have a little bit of time on the clock as Ronnie Brown takes this carry. You still got a little bit of time on the clock. You still got all 3 timeouts. You're playing at home. You got a little bit of momentum on your side. That was a panic play, and he didn't need to hit the panic button on that play. But, again, you have a redshirt freshman out there. He's still learning the game, still learning that quarterback position. And these are the lessons that you hope, helps him develop moving forward. But that was just didn't need to make that throw. I'm sure that's something that his coaches will be echoing to him on the sideline.
Shippensburg takes a timeout. Let's go ahead and take a 30-second break. It's Shepherd 23, Shippensburg 13, 1:41 to go in this fourth quarter.
Your master's degree is as close as Shepherd University. Shepherd's graduate programs are perfect for working adults and will prepare you for the next step in your career. Choose from several degrees perfect for educators, an accredited MBA program, and a master's degree in Appalachian Studies. Visit shepherd.edu/grad studies radio to get started today. Finish your master's or pursue a doctorate in nursing practice. To learn more, visit shepherd.edu/grad studies radio.
We welcome you back to Sefgrove Stadium in Shippensburg, Pennsylvania. Nick Verzolini, Travis Smith, happy to have you with us. Spencer Dupuy, our on-site producer. Donald Kinney, our cameraman, along with Dylan Bishop down on the sideline. Colin McLaughlin back in the studio. Shout out to our crew today. As looks like Tyson had to get rid of a towel or something that was on the field. And second down here in about 3 for the Rams. They'll run Ronnie Brown, who stutter steps and now has a big hole. And there goes Ronnie Brown all the way into the end zone. He'll look back at the defense on his way in. Touchdown, Shepherd. It's now 29-13, 1:33 to go, and that is the icing on the cake.
That stutter step. Just that little bit, that dash of patience that a veteran running back needs in his game. And I think that, I'm telling you, that's something that's, I think, could prove to be beneficial as far as his development as a running back moving forward, as having a game where physically you're not 100%, so you're having to run in a little bit more of a conservative style. And I think that's going to add to his consistency. And I'm sure his running backs coach is very happy to see him add that element to his game. Big game today for Ronnie Brown.
Big game, Ronnie. The extra point is up and good from Jacob Haney. It's Shepherd 30, Shippensburg 13, 1:33 to go in the fourth quarter. We'll take a 60-second break. This is Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
Hagerstown Ford continues to be your leader in car sales up and down the I-81 corridor. We will beat any and all competitors' prices, and we've made buying a new car easier than ever with one-day delivery better than Amazon and a return policy better than Walmart. Your satisfaction is our guarantee. If you don't like it, simply return it and we'll come pick it up. No questions asked. Why would you shop anywhere else? At Hagerstown Ford, we take great pride in our community and supporting our local student athletes. That's why Hagerstown Ford is the official car dealership of Shepherd Rams quarterback Tyson Bagent. Our remote buying process has made new car shopping so easy, you'll never even set foot in a dealership. Simply go to HagerstownFord.com and click on the car you want to buy it, or use the Axle Auto app. It's that easy. You can order your new car on any device. Go to HagerstownFord.com and get your new car signed, sealed, and delivered from Hagerstown Ford.
We welcome you back to Shippensburg as this one pretty much all but over. Here's a muff kickoff. I think Shepherd recovered it did. Coming out with the football for the Rams is number 14.
That was Ethan
Kamara coming out with the football, the freshman on kickoff return. Shepherd 30, Shippensburg 13, 1:28 to go, and the Rams can now run out the clock on the Raiders. But this is very similar to that Millersville game from a year ago, Travis, because the final score is going to look pretty good, but there is definitely some slow things. I mean, I think the big difference, too, is Shepherd didn't turn it over like it did in that game.
That and plus Millersville's offense was never, ever really able to challenge
that's true.
Shepherd. Whereas the Raiders, they're a little bit more. They got a little bit more to work with on the offensive side of the ball.
Here's Hartman. He'll run down to about the 31-yard line. I like that the cheerleaders and the band are still into it. Chanted defense.
That's something that we've been able to enjoy so far this year. The bands have been kicking butt this year.
The award-winning band.
Yes. Competition is thick in the PSAC.
Second down at 6. Not just on the field, but off the field as well. Under a minute to play in this one. Shepherd 30, Shippensburg 13. Bajan in the pistol formation. Hartman remains the running back. They'll give it to him. Runs into his own guy, but then dives forward for positive yardage. And that should be the final play of this ball game as Shepherd will close it out. The Rams will improve to 5-0. Shippensburg falling to 2-3. Shepherd looking to continue its undefeated regular season, which would be for the first time since 2017 when the Rams went 10-0. That season, though, ended in upset fashion in the first round of the postseason, losing to Findlay. The Rams don't want to repeat that, but obviously do want to continue the undefeated season here, and that does continue today with the win over Shippensburg. We will await to see if Dylan Bishop can get the head coach of the Rams, Ernie McCook, for the post-game interview. But Travis, quickly, just some quick thoughts on this one.
An impressive performance by that Rams football team. These are the type of games that you got to be able to win. They had two big tests going up against Kutztown and Cal PA. You come into a game like today versus Shippensburg, it could have been an easy game to overlook. But you come in, the weather's against you. You're on the road playing up against a determined and well-prepared opponent. The Rams not able to do all of the things that they like to do, but they were able to do the things that they needed to do to get the win. And they're going to have those game management skills later on in the year when they're going up against tougher opponents. Like we mentioned, this is a team that expects to make a deep run in the playoffs. So going up against challenging opponents, overcoming adversity like this during your regular season campaign is only going to help you be that much more prepared once you get into the playoffs. Really good job by the Shepherd Rams, and I'm very surprised at Shippensburg, although I shouldn't be. It's a good football program. They went out there and played very well. Sam Johnson, I think, is a quarterback who has a tremendous amount of upside. The defense for Shippensburg, they came in, they were as prepared as any opponent has been this season for that Rams offensive attack. Granted, they had the weather on their side, but it really didn't rain that much in the second half, but they were able to set the tone early. And that Shippensburg defense is something certainly you want to keep an eye on as this season goes on.
It's a veteran coaching staff as well for Shippensburg, as we still await Coach McCook to join Dylan here as Shepherd gets the win, 30-13 over Shippensburg. These two teams, while it is a rivalry game, a lot of respect on both sides, you can tell between the two teams, and an impressive win, I think, for Shepherd to go on the road in the rain. We knew it would be tougher because of the weather, I think, was something to definitely consider. And also, Shippensburg was up to play today and gave a great effort and really, I think, provided a good challenge. And this will be one of those wins that could help Shepherd moving forward as Dylan tries to get Coach McCook here.
And McCook, much like Ronnie Brown,
he's elusive. He's an elusive runner.
He's hard to corral in open space.
But it looks like Dylan does have the head coach of the Shepherd University Rams. So, Dylan, when you're ready, we'll send it down to you.
conditions today, but how do you think the team adjusted to be able to handle and get the win today?
You know, we knew that Shippensburg was going to come out and play hard, cause us issues. We got to do a better job of making the ordinary play extraordinary, be better with our fundamentals. We'll come to work this weekend and correct our mistakes, but it was a good win on the road, tough weather conditions. We've had 2 big emotional wins back-to-back, had a little letdown early. Pleased to come with the win.
Defense really stepped up in the second half. What do you think was the difference there?
Just running to the football. When they busted that long run, they took that thing personal, and they came out and they were determined that they weren't going to let up here in the second half.
All right, Coach McCook, congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Travis, back up to you.
Thank you, Dylan, for that interview. Thank you to Coach McCook as well, and as always, I think you did a pretty good job of summarizing that victory for Shepherd. We will take a 2-minute break, and on the other side of that break, we'll have the Palace Lounge post-game show. This is Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
This is Ben Copenhaver, your local alarm professional at Dynamark Atlantic Security. Did you know that home break-ins are 6% more likely during the day? That's right. The bad guys know when you're away, and they are smarter than you think. Dynamark Atlantic Security has the security solutions for you. Don't commit the error when the game is on the line. Phone me today at 304-671-2158 to learn how to play good defense against the bad guys. Dynamark Atlantic Security. Call today at 304-671-2158.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How do I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm Philip McCoy, financial advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
Hi, this is Lauren from Orsini's right here in Martinsburg. Grilling is not just for the boys. We are a Platinum Traeger dealer carrying the Pro Series all the way up to the Timberline Series. We have every flavor of wood pellets along with accessories, rubs, sauces. Not just Traeger, we carry Utz, Meat Church, Lanes, and Dizzy Pig. We also carry a full line of Yeti products. Orsini's has everything to complete your backyard. Visit us at 360 Hack Wilson Way or at Orsinis.com.
It's the post-game show as we recap the scoring, bring you stats and analysis, scores from around the PSAC and Super Region 1, the Division 1 Top 25, and the latest on the West Virginia University Mountaineers and Marshall University Thundering Herd. Let's get it started as we go back to the field and rejoin our TV 10 broadcast team.
Be back on the Palace Lounge post-game show. The Palace Lounge is located on Edward Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg with a full lunch and dinner menu with daily specials and a clean, comfortable atmosphere. Check out the menu on the Palace Lounge Facebook page as my paper is completely destroyed here due to it being in the rain, which isn't the best idea. Paper that doesn't work too well in the rain, Travis, for future situations here, but we'll get into our stats brought to you by Bechtel Jewelers, the West Virginia's largest Pandora retailer on Route 11 South in Inwood, taking care of you like nobody's business, and we'll break down these stats here. We'll start with the Shippensburg Raiders, 17-29 for Sam Johnson, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Dorsey, 13 carries, 119 yards, 80 of them, though, coming on that 80-yard touchdown run. Moon, 8 carries, 28 yards for Shippensburg. The receivers, Red Douglas, 5 catches, 42 yards. Ian Sheehan, 3 catches, 35 yards. Alex Roof with the 157-yard touchdown play. Those were the standouts offensively for Shippensburg. For Shepherd, for the Rams, Tyson Bagent goes 27 of 45, 252 yards, 2 touchdown passes. Very solid outing. Not a blow you away type of day, but a very solid, consistent passing day for Tyson Bagent. But Ronnie Brown, 22 carries, 171 yards, 2 touchdowns, 43-yard run as well. That's 7.8 yards a carry. Ryan Beach, 9 catches, 89 yards for the veteran wide receiver. Brian Walker hauls in 6 catches for 56 yards and 2 scores. Marlon Cook, 4 catches, 31 yards. Ronnie Brown, 4 catches, 25 yards to go along with the 171 yards rushing. So nearly 200 yards today, just a little bit short of that at 196 in total yardage for Ronnie Brown. E.J. Morgan, 2 catches for 35 yards, and Kenny Edlin, 2 catches for 16 yards. And quickly we'll go over the defense as well for you. As for Shippensburg leading tacklers, Tyler Simon today had 13 tackles. Greer had 8. Smith had 7. Feeney had 7 to lead the way for them. And for Shepherd, it was Keyshawn Haley. We had a really nice day, actually. 8 tackles, 1 interception, 1 pass breakup for him. Kyle Smith, 6 tackles, 1 for a loss. And Dwayne Grantham, 5 tackles in the ball game. And Travis, we'll get to your time to shine here in the post-game show. Our awards portion will start with the electrifying play of the game, brought to you by Orsini's Home Store, not just an appliance store any longer, located at 360 Hack Wilson Way in Martinsburg, or online at Orsinis.com. What do you got for that one?
Excuse me. For my electrifying play of the game, I have Khaled Dorsey with an 80-yard touchdown run. That's always going to catch my attention right there. And really just kind of set the tone for today's game. That is going to be super competitive when Shippensburg was able to jump out to the early lead. So that's my electrifying play of the game, Khaled Dorsey's 80-yard touchdown run.
All righty. And I like that choice. What about your Cody's Body Shop collision of the game? Cody's Body Shop, located at 851 Wilson Street in Martinsburg, family-owned, offering superior customer service and great pricing for a job done by experienced certified technicians. Call 304-901-4777 or visit their Facebook page.
I got to give it to tight end Dustin Fisher on the safety punt return. It was a hard collision on that sidelines, and Dustin Fisher certainly got the better of that exchange as he was able to run over a defender. So that might be something where maybe he earns himself a little bit more playing time in the regular part of the offense, showing that type of physicality. But for collision of the game, Dustin Fisher.
Yeah, when we see Fisher out there, it's typically in like those goal line sets, but definitely a nice hit there on that side, and that is well deserving of our Cody's Body Shop collision of the game. And then finally, Travis, our Bodwell Insurance Solutions player of the game. Bodwell Insurance Solutions is a local professional to help you with all of your Medicare needs. BodwellInsuranceSolutions.com or call 304-283-0864. Who is our recipient for this one?
Today's player of the game, Ronnie Brown, 22 carries, 171 yards, and 2 touchdowns. We knew the way the weather was going to play a factor in today's game, that the run game was going to be huge, and Ronnie Brown came up huge in that run game. Like we mentioned, 171 yards, 2 touchdowns, and really just was the engine that offense needed today, just being difficult throwing the ball around. So that just the weather kind of limited what Tyson Bagent could do today in the passing game, and Ronnie Brown really shouldered the load, taking care of the ball in that run game.
All right, well, with that, we will wrap things up. Once again, your final score, Shepherd 30, Shippensburg 13. Shepherd picks up its 23rd win in the series. It's now Shippensburg leading at 29-23 here in the 52nd all-time meeting between the two schools. The Rams improved to 5-0 for the first time since 2017, and Shippensburg falls to 2-3. For Dylan Bishop, who was down on the sidelines today, Donald Kenny, Spencer Dupuis, of course Travis Smith, as always, and Colin McLaughlin, who you'll hear from in about 2 minutes on the other side of this break. I'm Nick Verzolini saying so long from Seth Grove Stadium, and enjoy the rest of your Saturday.
Ollie's VIP North Side is the best spot to catch all your favorite teams. Join us Monday for dollar wings and Monday Night Football, Thursdays on the patio for the cornhole tourney, Friday night lights with happy hour specials, or Saturdays during or after the college games for steak night. Get a ribeye or New York steak for just $26.95. Ollie's has great food and drink menus too, along with 17 TVs to watch any game of your choice from anywhere at the bar or their outdoor patio and fire pit. So stop by and see for yourself today at 36 Veronica Drive in Martinsburg. That's Ollie's VIP North Side. We'll see you for the game.
If you're in an accident, the first thing that you have to do is call 911. You have to get medical care immediately.
The next thing you need to do is call us. When you hire us at the Skinner Law Firm, what we do is we are going to investigate your case, and we're going to lay out the options that you have, all at no cost to you.
We will use all of our resources and all of our experience to get you what you deserve. That's what we mean by treating you like family.
Want to earn your MBA but don't think you have time? Shepherd University offers two options for employed learners. Choose between our fully online or our in-person programs. You can earn your degree in the evenings while benefiting from Shepherd's top faculty. We're now accepting applications for next semester. Visit www.shepherd.edu/online radio or call 304-876-5313. Again, that's www.shepherd.edu/online radio.
Welcome into the post-game scoreboard show. Colin McLaughlin for TV10 and WRNR TV on YouTube as your number 4 team in the nation. The Shepherd Rams improved to 5-0 on the season, remain undefeated with a 30-13 win against Shippensburg. Let's now get some final scores from around the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Gannon improves to 4-1 overall with a 21-10 win over Seton Hill. Seton Hill now goes to 0-5. For the first time this season, Millersville gets a win, this time over Lock Haven in dominating fashion. Millersville wins 42-12 on the road. Also on the road, Kutztown comes back and beats East Stroudsburg by a final score of 24-20. A minute 44 to go in the third quarter. It is Cal U dominating Clarion 45-14. And with a minute 52 to go in the third quarter, it's Edinburgh leading Mercyhurst 13-3. Kicking off at 6 p.m., it is Westchester and Bloomsburg, but the important game going on right now in the PSAC between the top two teams in the West Division, IUP and Slippery Rock, both teams undefeated, and most likely the winner between these two teams will represent the West against the champion of the East, which hopefully is Shepherd, come the end of the season for the PSAC championship. And Slippery Rock just scored a touchdown, but was unable to get the 2-point conversion, I believe. They don't have stats up. All they unfortunately have is a live stream video, so if you want to go watch that after this, you can. But it is the fourth quarter, and it's IUP leading Slippery Rock 20-12. That's all your Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference scores. Let's now get some scores from around Division I Top 25 action. Some final scores from earlier today. Number 25, Kansas State. Second half dominance over Texas Tech is what leads the Wildcats to victory by a final score of 37-28 as Kansas State scored 17 points in the fourth quarter to get that win over the Red Raiders. An upset, one of two in those noon kickoff games. Purdue on the road upsets number 21 Minnesota 20-10. In the second upset, a big one. Number 14 Ole Miss beats number 7 Kentucky 22-19. And the third one, A crazy one in the Big 12 was TCU absolutely dominating number 18 Oklahoma 55-14. The only ranked team that was not upset, number 4 Michigan. They beat Iowa 27-14. Let's now get some games that are currently going on. It is number 12 Utah taking on Oregon State. Utah leads 21-16 with 9:46 to go in the third. Number 2 Alabama leads number 20 Arkansas 14-0 in the first quarter. Also in the first quarter with 4:19 left, it's number 3 Ohio State tied with Rutgers at 7-all. 22 seconds to go in the first quarter. It's number 9 Oklahoma State leading number 16 Baylor 7-3. And with 1:19 to go in the first, number 11 Penn State is tied with Northwestern as both teams are still scoreless. A tie between number 23 Florida State and number 22 Wake Forest at 7-all with 4:25 to go in the first. And with 9:19 to go in the first, Texas A&M, number 17 in the nation, against Mississippi State are still scoreless. 7:30 tonight, it's number 1 Georgia against Missouri, number 10 NC State at number 5 Clemson. Georgia Tech takes on number 24 Pittsburgh at 8 p.m. And at 10:30 tonight, it's Arizona at number 6 USC, and at 11 it's number 13 Oregon taking on Stanford. Later tonight, you can tune in on Talk Radio WRNR 106.5 FM, 7:40 a.m. at 7:30 on Fox Sports 1 if you want to watch the TV side as well. The West Virginia Mountaineers are on the road to take on the Texas Longhorns. So tune into that one. It should be a good one. Right now, Texas favored by 7 points as it was at 9.5, I believe, yesterday. So those lines continue to drop, and hopefully West Virginia can get a big win in Austin, Texas, yet again. And a big win again today for Shepherd by a final score of 30-13 over Shippensburg. So the Rams remain undefeated. This is Colin McLaughlin for TV10 and WRNR TV on YouTube, signing off for this broadcast of Shepherd Ram football. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you again in 2 weeks.
You've been watching play-by-play coverage of NCAA Division II football, featuring the Shepherd University Rams and the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Today's telecast has been brought to you by the Neon Moon Tavern, Orsini's Home Store, Parsons Ford of Martinsburg, the Skinner Law Firm, Smallwood and Small Insurance Group, W. Harley Miller Systems, and WVU Medicine. TV10 Sports thanks you for watching today's presentation of Shepherd Rams football. All rights reserved.